kitchen and the quietest dishwasher known to man. Realize your dream with a home equity line of credit from Simmons Bank. Dreams realized. SimmonsBank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval.
Hurt Seed Company in Halls credits teamwork for their success since they were founded 4 generations ago in 1932. Today, brothers Trey and Ray Hurt appreciate the hard-working, dedicated employees they consider and treat as family. Several Hurt family children and grandchildren attend Trinity and help promote teamwork in TCA's athletic program. Hurt Seed Company, wholesalers and processors of soybeans and wheat, working closely with the agricultural community of West Tennessee to produce quality seeds. Teamwork in action. Let's go, Lions.
WTJK Humboldt-Jackson is Fox Sports Jackson.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCulley and Stan Gerard.
Glad to have Paul and Lawson down with us now with the Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 radio side and Worthy Road Studios on the video side. You folks watching see Eric Ward says that Lake County has won the toss. They've elected to defer. And the purple and white against the black, green, and white of Lake County here tonight in Tiptonville. Stan Gerard, along with yours truly, Diamond Dave. TCA will receive the opening kick, and they'll be moving from right to left on your screen there and decked out here. And the Lions trying to find a way to bounce back from a very, very tough loss. Really a big one, their worst loss of the year. Meanwhile, Lake County coming off one of their biggest wins. They beat Greenfield 34-7 in the all-important region game for them, Stan.
TCA will have the wind at their back during this first quarter as they'll be moving from left to right on your dial. And we're just about set for kickoff as both teams are getting set to come out on the field here. Anissa Underwood, Laura Kraft Young watching this ball game tonight. We're going to have Scott and Dee Davis listening up in the Evansville, Indiana, and tons of folks listening. Social media will be open. You can text me at 616-2905. Diamond can give out his text number. And if you're watching on live streaming video, you can send us a message that way as well at the bottom of your screen. A lot of different ways to get a hold of us tonight as the TCA Lions come out on the field here in Tiptonville, Tennessee.
And here come the Falcons down to our right. Eric Allison doing a great job. Need to turn my volume down a little bit. Stan, what number are we on there?
You're on
it's
3.
Dark in the press
Down.
box, but we're trying to see. Appreciate, again, the hospitality of Mike Moore. Eric Allison down there on the music. He's pulling all the stops out. Jackson Neal on the PA here. And we appreciate the hospitality. Everyone trying to get in here tonight and stay dry, to say the least, including the coaching staff of the Lions right behind us here. So we get ready for this one. And the Lions trying to win a big one here because although it's a non-region game, playoff implications. If the Lions can win this one, then get some help. They could be number 2. If they lose this one, they're number 3 in the region no matter what, Stan.
Yeah, let's talk real quickly about what can happen should TCA win this game tonight and McKenzie defeat Gibson County tomorrow night in McKenzie. TCA will be the number 2 seed in the tournament, and TCA would be guaranteed a home playoff game. Should TCA lose this game, irregardless of other situations, with the exception of Halls being UC, we would be the number 3 seed and be on the road in the playoffs to Memphis next week. So,
Kevin Davis, the speedster back there to receive this kick, and it will be
and some shenanigans here, maybe.
Abbott to kick it away. We're looking down at our roster sheets here. The screen is helping me quite a bit here. And the kickoff about to come. When you get older, it's hard to see anyway, Lawson. And we'll see if they kick it to Davis. Not many people have done that. It's a squib kick. Goes by Sis there, bouncing around. And it's picked up by Davis at about the 16-yard line. He's going far side right, trying to find a wall over there. He doesn't find one. They knock him down and tackle him back at about the 14-yard line. So Kevin tried to go far side right toward the TCA bench. And Lake County would have none of it. And it's going to be the Lions on offense deep in their own territory. And Matt Spurgeon will start tonight. Lane Lambert will go back as the receiver. Addison Coleman will be in the backfield with him back there. And Davis will be slotted here to the left. Lambert comes here to the left. Played quarterback most of the year. And Matt Spurgeon played last week, and good to have him back out there. Coleman is the one setback to his left. You see it on your screen there, and you can see the rain coming through with the wind there, the heavy drizzle. Here's Spurgeon running for his life, and he's going to be tripped up and dropped. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. 2nd down and 10, Stan. Receivers covered, nowhere to go.
Spurgeon to fake the handoff, look for something in the flats right there. Oh, had a look early, had Davis early, but Davis wasn't looking on the play, and Spaz had to eat the ball, brings up 2nd and 10.
Gray's far side right. Davis in the slot here to the left. Lamberth here to the near side toward the Lake County fans. They throw it underneath here, and Davis is going to drop it. He dropped it at the 10. It was a forward pass, and it's going to be 2nd down now and 10. Actually, almost 11. We lost a yard on that first play, so 3rd down 11, and Stan, not the way you want to start, especially with these weather conditions.
Tough handling the ball so far for a TCA. Looks like Lake County's got Davis covering up early in this contest.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It will be Spurgeon in the shotgun. He'll give it to Coleman. Coleman will find running room.
Big yards.
He's to the 20, to the 25. He's got the first down, and he's going to move all the way up over the 25-yard line. And a big handoff to Addison Coleman. Coleman has had a great year, and he's got the first down, Stan. That is a Jim and Connie Clement transmission and record service first down. There was a huge gaping hole on the right side of the offensive line.
Great job by the offensive line opening up that hole, and Coleman did what he had to do up to the 28-yard line where we've got a fresh set of downs.
A pickup of 14. Throw underneath to Davis. Same play. He doesn't drop this one, but he's dropped back at the 25-yard line. Outstanding tackle. That by Desmond Johnson, the great running back, but a great defender as well. And no gain. Davis, they were beating right in on him. Hot Rod Parker's watching and listening tonight as well. So the ball rests at the 25-yard line. Hash mark left. Good to see G. DeArmond here. A great friend of ours. He is supervising the officials tonight. 2 wideouts far side right. 1 here to the near side. Spurgeon in the shotgun with Coleman to his left. He will give it to Coleman again this time. They gang tackle Coleman. He gets back to line of scrimmage, stand, and that is it. They were waiting on Coleman that time, weren't they?
Yeah, he maybe got about a yard on the play.
Well, actually,
2 carries, 15 yards.
Yep. 3rd and 11. We're actually a yard short of where the series started after the first down run by Coleman. Play instructions from across the way from the purple and white. Coming in tonight, 5-4, the Lions against the 8-1 Falcons.
You see this Lake County ball club. They're running a 5-man front, and they're really jamming the inside. We're going to have to try and find a way to get around the edges.
Linebackers peering right through those gaps. Spurgeon, low snap, but comes up with it. He's going to throw it. Fly pattern down there, and he's going to try to find Davis incomplete. Davis wound up having to play defender that time, well covered, and the Lions will have to send out Northcutt to punt this ball.
And TCA, after getting the initial first down, going to have to punt. And back to punt is going to be number 19, Isaac Northcutt.
Done a pretty good job, averaging about 38 yards per punt. Done a really good job. Janet and Keith Butler listening and watching up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Steelers had the week off. Stan did a great job, and Keith did last week with the halftime interview. Northcutt gets it away, and under the circumstances, pretty good punt. Takes a great TCA roll inside the 40, inside the 35, down to the 30-yard line. And considering these conditions, outstanding punt by Mr. Northcutt.
42-yard effort by the cerebral assassin, Isaac Northcutt. And Lake County, the Falcons, come out on the field for their first series of the ball game.
They really have a nice-looking quarterback, Tanner Snyder, 6'3", 235. Their primary running back is Mr. Desmond Johnson. He's been a great player for them as well. He'll be back there. They send a wide out here to the near side. Lake County moving from the left to the right. Decked out in the green. You see that rain coming in and a heavy drizzle, umbrellas up, rain gear in abundance here tonight in Tiptonville. Snyder in the gun. He'll give it to Desmond Johnson, looking for a hole, goes left, then goes back right, and he's tackled right at the 35-yard line. It's going to pick up 5. Nice tackle that time. And coming up to make that tackle was Eli Cross. Cross has really done a good job. He's the 3rd leading tackler on this team, and we sometimes forget, Stan, he's the junior.
Yeah, just a junior, and does a good job. 5-yard pickup for Lake County on that initial play. Did a good job on the offensive line there. The right guard and right tackle opening that hole.
Ball just short of the 35. 2nd down and a short 6, or a long 6 in this case. Here is Snyder, the quarterback, keeping it. He's a big kid. We mentioned 6'3". He moves his way over the 35 and trips his way to the 37. And the leading tackler in all of West Tennessee, Addison Coleman, makes the stop.
Snyder picks up 3 on the play, going to bring up 3rd and a long 2. Snyder, a big kid, not a lot of speed, but very powerful.
6'3", 225, just a junior.
Had 63 yards in the game against TCA last year.
Johnson to his left. He sends doubles both ways. TCA jumps around, almost came offside, did not. Chilcutt jockeying around there. And it's going to be Snyder in the gun with Johnson to his left. Gives it to Johnson. Johnson breaks the 1B or first guy there, but can't break the second wave. Chilcutt did a good job cutting him back into the inside and then getting there to knock him down and finish him off was one Garrett Bond.
A loss of 2 on the play, going to bring up 4th and long. I suspect early on we're going to see Lake County punt this ball away, and they are setting back in punt formation. So the TCA defense answers on their first series, and good pursuit there, as you can see on the replay, and the Falcons going to be forced to punt.
They'll punt it, and Davis stands near his 35 to receive this punt in the rain.
Could be the type of game where a special
low
teams
snap,
play
he drops
wins.
it. Now we'll get it away. Kept his poise, the punter did, and it takes a somewhat of a, well, sort of sideways neutral kind of bounce, and we'll be down at the 34. And the Lions now, after having the first series of plays at the 14, will have it at their own, let's call it 33 to be exact, for you purists out there, if you're keeping score at home. If you're keeping score at home, you need counseling. 33-yard line, 1st and 10.
Easy, Diamond. Dave, there are people who actually score these games at home.
It will be 1st and 10, hash mark left. Coleman will be the one back there with Spurgeon. He sends Davis and Graves far side right. Here to the near side, Lane Lambert. His mom, Cindy, somewhere in that crowd across the way. Spurgeon in the gun. 5-man front, throws it out there, and it's incomplete. That ball, we were down there on the field, tried to get it to Davis really quick at the hash mark right. Stan, I'll tell you, watching TCA warm up, it's a very, as you might imagine, soggy field, and the football, well, it's going to get harder and harder to throw throughout the night.
And remember, this is only the second game that Spurgeon has played all season long, so he's still trying to get his sea legs about him. Remember, he broke his jaw a week before the Jamboree, so he's just now getting his sea legs back, cleared to play last week's game.
It's a heavy ball to throw tonight, no doubt about it. Bill Windsor Jr., a Lake County fan, watching down in Winter Haven, Florida. Hello, Bill. Over the middle, incomplete. Had Sisk open, but it went through his hands. Stan, not only is it hard to throw the ball, it's going to be tough catching the ball tonight. That went through Mitch Sisk's hands. Normally, he's sure-handed and catches that.
Always tough, and we'll see it on the replay here. Straight across the middle. A little bit thrown a little bit high, but that's when Mitch Sisk is going to say, I should have had that dog.
And it will be, Stan, I'm going to let you grab this. This is a call I have to take.
And TCA back to the line of scrimmage. It is 3rd down and 10, 33-yard line. Pistol formation, Coleman, the running back, 2 receivers right. Handoff. It's going to be Davis. He's going around the corner, can't get to the edge. He's got room. He fumbles the football, and Lake County is going to recover. And TCA with their first turnover of the ball game. It was Kevin Davis getting 5 yards from behind. He was hit from behind. The ball squared out, and Lake County recovers. As you can see on the replay, he gets to the edge, and as there was some contact, the ball came loose, and Lake County recovered the football. So Lake County gets the first break of the ball game, the first TCA turnover of the night. And that was a 5-yard gain by Davis, but he does fumble the football, and Lake County is going to have the ball at their own 45-yard line, far side hash. It is Snyder back in the shotgun. Actually, no, this is a Wildcat. Desmond, handoff to the other running back, and no, it is now Desmond keeping the ball around the corner. He's going to pick up about 7 on the play. Diamond Dave, they had everybody fooled, including the TCA defense.
No doubt about it. I apologize when it's the price you pay when you're doing high school games and you're a sports information director at a college. Well, the ball will be inside the 40, down to about the 38. And it's going to be 2nd and about 3, a long 3. Well, the turnover gives it right back to Lake County right when it appeared that the Lions had something going with Davis on the run. The ball inside the 40 at the 37, or 38, let's call it. All the Lake County fans looking at their, or kids, I should say, looking at their wristbands on those left arms. They run the Wildcat again with Johnson. Johnson will hand it off to the running back to the 40, to the 35, booms his way, 30, 25. He's going to go in. That's going to be a touchdown, and running it in, and great move there by Tubbs. But a couple flags on the play.
Got a feeling this one's coming back.
Yep. Boy, he just bowled right over one of the defenders for TCA. And that one is coming back and a big break. Hole on Lake County stand.
Good break for TCA, as we can see. The guy just gets in the outside. Great explosion there and into the end zone. But this one coming back.
And a good break for TCA there at the time, and they'll move the ball. Eric Ward will set it down at about the 40. Well, they're going to move it back, actually more than that from the point. Let's see, when they move it back to the 48-yard line. 10-yard loss, actually, from the line of scrimmage. So it's second down and 13 now. Well, Stan, that really helps TCA to say the least, doesn't it?
Boy, a well-designed play by Lake County, and they're pulling out all the stops early in this ballgame. David Lee Lytle watching this ballgame as well. Sir David back in Jackson taking in the action.
Well, Lake County comes back out with Snyder in the gun now. They ran the Wildcat with Desmond Johnson. They did a good job with it, but now they bring back out Snyder. No score here with 7:17 to the first stanza in Lake County tonight. And Snyder has those backs.
That's basically a single wing backfield.
It sure is. No, actually, they run Snyder in the up position. They're going to use him as a blocker, and it's going to be Desmond Johnson. He tried to go far side left. If he gets out there, he's going to go all the way in, and he falls on his own accord, slips on the wet turf at about the 36-yard line.
Johnson, 4 carries, 21 yards, and early on, Lake County gashing the defensive line of TCA.
They leave Snyder in there as a blocking back, actually, standing at 225, 6'3". He's a good blocking back to put out there. They run the same set again.
It's shades of old school single wing football there, and can be very effective. You know what they always say, sometimes what old is new again.
Picked up 12, third down and a yard in TCA territory. Johnson and the Wildcat again. And it goes right through his hands. He'll have to fall back on it. Actually going to pick it up back at midfield, and a big loss. And a tackle there by the freshman Harrison Freeman falls on him back at the midfield. That ball is a good snap. It just went right through his hands, didn't it?
14-yard loss in the play. Johnson now 5 carries, only 7 yards. That one really wasn't his fault. But it's going to bring up fourth down, so ball's going to be right at the 50. So it appears that TCA has survived that turnover that we committed a little while ago.
So it's fourth down, and Davis will drop back about his 20. Good to have Lawson and Paul with us tonight. Worthy Road Studios, video streaming the game. Audio here with John Brailsford on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3. Nice roll as the punt will roll dead down at the 11. Davis did a good job under these conditions, Stan. You don't want to try to run over there and field that ball on the run.
No, you don't. Not under these conditions at all. So TCA, with their third possession of the game, going to have to start deep in their own territory back at the 11.
No doubt about it. Well, they've had it at the 14, at the 34 now. Their worst field position to begin a series at the 11. Well, the mistakes by Lake County really helps TCA that time. They had a touchdown call back because of the hole, and then they had a snap go right through the quarterback's hands. They run the pistol this time with Spurgeon, and Davis stands back inside the 5. They'll give it to Kevin Davis. Far side right, using Coleman as a blocker. He breaks the first tackle. Can't not break the second, though. And he's dropped at about the 13-yard line. Picks up only about 2 or 3. Let's give him 3. Second and a long 7.
2 carries, 8 yards for Kevin Davis here. Not real displeased with the short gain. Let's just get some positive yards and, more importantly, hang on to that football. Dave, this is going to be a game we're going to have to grind this one out, I do believe.
No doubt about it. The clock running at 5:20 and a quickly played first quarter thus far. Spurgeon in the gun. Gives it off this time to Davis again, and they meet him right at the point of attack. Nothing there at all. That interior defensive line of Lake County having their way that time. This offensive the offensive line has had a good year, Stan, but really tough sledding in these kind of conditions to get traction to spring them for the blocks.
As you saw on the replay, the hole was open there early, but just for a second, Lake County was able to quickly close it, and Davis had nowhere to go.
Second down and about 8. Davis and Spurgeon. Coleman is to the left. Now they run that pistol again with Davis about 4 yards behind. Now they put Davis in motion here to the near side. They'll give it to Addison Coleman. Bang, he's dropped. Outstanding play there as Coleman, they read that beautifully, and one of the captains for Lake County made the stop that time, and that's going to be Kelly.
Yeah, they blitzed from the left side, and they were able to Addison Coleman in the backfield. TCA 3 and out, going to be able to have to punt here, and Northcutt's going to have to punt from his own end zone. And
like Davis being so dangerous for TCA on punt returns, they've got the very talented Desmond Johnson standing near midfield. Northcutt will punt it from right. He's standing right on the goal line there. He gets it away, and again, pretty good punt. And Johnson will try to field it back here. No, he's just going to let it roll dead. Wise decision, young man. And it rolls down at the 40-yard line. And there, Lake County will have it 1st and 10 at their own 40, Stan.
38, what was that, about a 48-yard punt?
Yep.
For Isaac Northcutt on there, and Lake County's going to have the ball 1st and 10 at their 40. So Sir Isaac doing a nice job bailing us out of a tough situation with his foot. You know, Isaac came out for the team late in the year, and his punting has improved week by week as the season has progressed, and he's a valuable weapon for the TCA ball club.
Good point. A little shaky that first game, and you might imagine that, but he's really settled in and done well. 3:51 left in the first. We're in Tiptonville tonight, Lake County. And the Lions in an all-important non-region game. Snyder back in there at quarterback, running the gun, runs right out of that, and he's tackled. And hit hard there and making the tackle. Kevon Pirtle, a transfer from Haywood County. He went out last week banged up. He's out there giving it a go tonight and made a nice defensive play.
Only a 1-yard pickup for Johnson on that play. Pirtle getting the job done there. The roadblock, as I call him.
He did a really good job, no doubt. We had pressure coming in pretty quickly. J-Mo, Justin Moore in there on the tackle as well. 55 degrees. That's not the problem tonight. The problem is the rain. Both teams trying to keep it on the ground. It could be a quickly play game here tonight on a Thursday night. A lot of you watching, a lot of you listening tonight. 2nd down and a long 9. Here's Desmond Johnson right down the gut. 50, 45, 40. Got a 1st down. He just ran right through everyone that time. Looked like a streak of lightning here on a rainy night. He's all the way down to the 36 stand. We didn't get a hand on him until he got to the secondary.
23-yard pickup for Johnson on that play. 7 carries, 31 yards. And what concerns me is we didn't lay a hand on him until he was well in the secondary.
Eli Cross may have saved a touchdown there. Well, we have Sarah Murchison listening tonight, watching as well.
Folks in North Carolina watching the game.
Yeah, 36-yard line, 1st and 10. Lake County on a roll now. Now they bring Johnson back out there in the Wildcat. They move the quarterback Snyder here, almost like a tight end. They'll use him for a block again. Johnson breaks a couple of tackles, and Chilcutt gets his hands around him. Now we've got some hanky-panky. Justin Moore and one of the big linemen sort of tangling up there. And the referee, Eric Ward, throws the flag back here around the 40. Let's see what that's about. Going to be personal foul on Lake County. Boy, Lake County hurting themselves here, Stan, with some momentum. Boy, that's got to drive the coach in this case. Josh Puckett going to put gray hairs on the young head.
So TCA has had a fumble. It's helped them out, and a couple of penalties have saved their bacon, so to speak, with after some big plays by Lake County.
2:32 in the first. Dave McCulley, Stan Gerard with you tonight on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3, and Lawson Mann and Paul Schultze on Worthy Road Studios. So we've got it covered tonight. And the ball will be where? What did they call then? Did they stay with the same call? Yeah, they mark it off from the 31. It will be back here to about that's a big one. It's going to be all the way back to the 46-yard, 45 is where they'll mark it down.
Yeah.
And it remains 1st down, but now they've got to get Stan where? All the way down to the 26-yard line.
About 1st and 18.
Yep. Well, actually 2nd down, I apologize. Now Snyder goes out in the slot, far side left. They run Desmond Johnson again. Got those socks or that tape up over his socks and his shoes there. And he'll hand it off to the running back. There's Puckett. Puckett to the 40, 35, far side left, cuts it outside, gets to the 30. Doesn't get the 1st down, but he got a lot of it back that they lost, and Corey Curry makes the stop along with Favara.
You'll be able to see on the replay of this, Puckett got around the edge there. Now it's going to be 3rd and short. Defensive ends didn't contain. They got to the outside to the edge, a nice block by Lake County there. Made an extra 10 yards, and what was 2nd and long is now 3rd and short.
Jim Riley tuned in and watching down in Fayette County. Brent Groom, the Gibson County announcer, he's watching this one as well. He's over in Dyer, Tennessee. 3rd down and 4. 1:39. Lake County 2-down territory, no doubt. They give it to Johnson and the Cat. He's got the 1st down and more. Breaks a tackle. 25 down to the 20. Finally tripped up. Eli Cross is having a really good game defensively. He comes up a little shaken up. But he makes the tackle at the 20, or that might have been a touchdown. Stan, they've got Puckett and they've got Johnson. And, boy, they're really fleet-footed, aren't they?
8 carries, 39 yards for Johnson. But, Dave, here's the thing. I don't think we're going to see Desmond Johnson throwing the football. As long as he's back there, they're putting Snyder back there as a decoy. He's just taking a receiver away. When they come in those formations, I think we got to sell out to stop the run. I mean, force them to force them to throw the football out of that formation.
Eli Cross going out. He's a little shaken up. Lesu comes in for him. And the Lions will bring in across the way. Looks like Eli Stewart's coming in. Stewart, the sophomore. Cross having a really good first quarter defensively, but shaken up that time. Well, 1st and 10, hash mark right. The ball rests at the 20-yard line. And moving toward the campus or the gym end zone down here, they bring Schneider back out of the gun. They put Johnson to his left. 2 wideouts here to the near side, short side of the field. Give it to Johnson. Johnson looking for a block.
Hang on.
And Chilcutt grabs him around the legs and holds on. Chilcutt's had a really good year as well, and he picks up about 3 down to 17.
3.
Yep, 2nd and 7. The rain has subsided. The umbrellas are down. The rain gear is still out in abundance. We're under a minute of this first quarter. Quickly played first quarter. Both teams running the ball a lot.
9 carries, 42 yards for Johnson.
Johnson to the left, Puckett to the right. Schneider in the gun. 2nd down and 7. Lake County threatening here. They throw it over the middle, and boy, he had him wide open. I mean, he had the receiver wide open. That breaking toward the middle of the field was Taylor, and I mean, Schneider flat missed him, or it would have been 6. Big break for TCA.
Oh, and TCA knows. I saw it. Lake County doesn't throw much, but when they do, they are very efficient when they throw the football. Their touchdown to completion ratio is outstanding, and Snyder would definitely like to have that one back, and the TCA pass defense breathing a small sigh of relief.
28 seconds remaining in the first. Glad to have you aboard tonight, whether you may be watching or listening around West Tennessee.
Okay,
and for that matter, around the world. They bring back Johnson and the Wildcat. Puckett leads the block, 10-5. He's going to stumble in the end zone, touchdown. He goes in from where? 11 yards out. I'm going to make it 17 yards out. 17-yard scamper by Johnson. And Stan, they did a good job. They used Puckett that time as a blocker, and he delivered.
Yeah, they just lined up in a strong right formation, direct snap. He followed the blocking, went in. Pretty simple, basic offense. We've got to adjust to that.
22.1 seconds left. And apparently they're going to go for 2 here. This is that play you just despise, isn't it?
I do not like these gimmick formations here.
Bethel ran it last week. Was successful on one, not successful on the other. Now they throw it underneath. It's caught. Touchdown. Or, 2 points. Puckett caught it. Puckett caught it out there. They lined him up over there behind a couple of 2 or 3 people. And just like that, it's 8-0 Lake County. 22.1 seconds left. Back after this, 30 on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios.
Pepper Pratt here from Youthtown of Tennessee. We've been around since 1962, offering services for both boys and girls. And one thing you may not know is that we are a Christ-centered residential treatment facility for substance abuse for adolescents. So if you know of a family who is dealing with a child that is suffering through addiction, we may be able to help. Give us a call, 731-988-5251, or check us out on the web at youthtown.net.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCullough and Stan Gerard.
A 70-yard drive capped off by the 17-yard run by Johnson. Then the 2-point conversion, Snyder to Puckett, and Stan. It's 8-0 Lake County.
Got to give credit to the offensive line of Lake County. They're blowing open big holes early. They're running. Lake County just running a real simple offense. Lately, they've just been doing a wildcat direct snap, running to the strong side of the field, an old-fashioned single wing, and they've just been blowing through us and eating up huge chunks of yards. Again, we just got to make the adjustments.
Frankie Mays, all 300 pounds of him. He's a good-looking athlete. He's going to kick it away here. And it's a kick that will bound inside the 10, and Davis is going to have to scamper back at about the 7. He's got it at the 10, coming here to the near side, running out of real estate and running right into some Lake County Falcons. And the Lions will be again pinned back at the deep in their own territory inside their 20, Stan.
That's going to be about the 17-yard line, I do believe, where TCA will start this drive. And imperative right now with just about 17 and a half seconds to go in our first quarter that TCA is going to have a sustained drive here and get some points on the board because Lake County's offense is rolling right now.
Good job by Abbott on the special teams for Lake County. Spurgeon hands it off to Coleman. Coleman bounds right into a couple of 2 or 3 people and then gang tackle after no gain.
And the Lake County defense and their fans simply jacked at this point, and you can't really blame them.
No doubt about it. That's going to end the first quarter. Your score, Lake County 8, TCA nothing. A 1-minute break. We're back after this on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios. Stay with us, everybody.
First Bank is a proud sponsor of Trinity Christian Academy Athletics. This is Dawn Thomason with First Bank and a parent of a TCA student athlete. First Bank has 3 locations in Jackson with products ranging from checking, home mortgage, and commercial business accounts. First Bank supports TCA students, coaches, and athletes as they compete in the 2018-2019 season. We look forward to a great season and cheering on the TCA Lions. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is Chuck Bugle with Robinson Toyota. I'm a Trinity parent and a sales consultant here at Robinson Toyota. Do you want a different kind of car buying experience? If you do, come see me at Robinson Toyota. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do it enthusiastically. It's something done for the Lord and not men. I strive to do that every day. Just ask all the Trinity families that have bought cars from me in the past 2 years. Come see me, Chuck Bugle at Robinson Toyota, for a different kind of car buying experience.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Diamond Dave McCulley and Stan Gillard.
As we get set to go to the second quarter, Lake County leads this ball game 8-0. TCA with the ball, it's second and a long 9.
Eric Joyce and Joey Spellings, good buddies of ours. They're watching the game as well. Spurgeon will throw it. It's caught. Nice catch at the 20 up to about the 21, 22-yard line is Riley Graves. Did a good job catching that high pass. Not a big gainer, but well, it gets TCA out of a little bit of a hole, about a pickup of 6. Let's call it 3rd down and 4. With 11:40 left here in the second, we're underway in the second quarter, and TCA needs to sustain a drive here. Coleman to the left to Spurgeon. 2 wideouts here to the near side, short side of the field. If you're watching, you get a good look at that. If you're listening, well, just take our word for it. Spurgeon will throw, and incomplete. Davis, they had that well-defended stand. Even if he catches that, I don't think it's going to go very far, and the Lions are going to have to send Northcutt out for the 3rd time tonight to punt the ball.
Just a tough play there. Like you said, you saw they already had Davis. I mean, as soon as the ball got in Davis's neighborhood, they already had him tackled there. Got to be a little bit careful with that. You got to wait till it's after the ball gets there. If you do that before, that's pass interference.
It was at that time, though, but you're right. Good analogy. Here's Johnson. Will stand back inside around his 45. Northcutt to boot it away from about his own, 15. Northcutt gets it away. They put the return on. Nice punt. And that will now takes a Lake County bounce, though. Now it sort of dies at the 48-yard line. So Lake County gets good field position. That ball I thought was going to be further than it was, but it just sort of died on him.
Yeah.
At the 48-yard line, Lake County will have it, leading the game 8-0, and TCA's defense needs to stop or a turnover. Joey Spellings, I appreciate the nice comment, sir. You're very, very kind.
He's the president of your fan club, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very kind. Joey's a good buddy of ours.
Tell you what, that punt stopped just like one of my pitching wedges does on the golf course.
In your dreams. 8-0, 48-yard line. That's about the only thing I could do playing golf is the short game. Well, let's see if the Lions try the short game here. Try to just keep bounding it and give it to the little fleet-footed guys and get them open. Snyder has the snap. He'll run right out of that shotgun. He's not going to get much. He'll plunder his way literally for 2 up to about the 50. J-Mo, Justin Moore making the stop with help from others.
And his grandpa, Pops Moore, listening to this ball game back in Jackson with his lovely bride. Pops, continue the good fight. Get well, my friend.
Judy Wallington Barker always watches the games when we're on video. Big hello to her. Betty Coleman Lucky tuned in tonight as well. So we've got a ton of folks watching and listening tonight. John Brelsford's our producer and director on the radio side. 2nd down and a short 8. Again, long 7. Right. Yep, they've got Johnson again. And they'll give it to Puckett. Puckett looking for a hole and finds a little bit of one and will dance his way down to about the 46 where it brings up 3rd down stand.
Pickup of about 3 on that play. Puckett with 2 carries for 16 yards on the night.
Don't forget Diamond Dave Sports every Monday night. That will not air this Monday night because I have a college basketball game. Yep, we're underway already. We possibly will do that show Tuesday if we do it next week, but we'll let you know about that. Well, the ball at the 46-yard line, 3rd down and 4. We approach the 10-minute mark of the second stanza. Lake County leading the game 8-0. Snyder, we'll make it, Johnson, the Wildcat, follows the block. He's got a 1st down and more. He'll dart his way down to the 35-yard line and stand. We've had no stop for him for the most part tonight. To the 34 he goes, and it's 1st and 10, Lake County.
12-yard pickup, 71 yards on 12 carries. Remember, he only had 122 in the game last year against TCA and only had 2 or 3 decent gains all night. We were able to hold Johnson in check last year, but so far he's running wild in this one.
Joey talks about some of the junior high tapes and high school tapes of our broadcast. Those are collector's items these days. 9:30. Appreciate Joey's message. 9:30 left here in this second stanza. And it will be Johnson back there again in that gun with Snyder, and I think too much time. A delay of game, I think, on Lake County.
It is going to be a penalty. It's going to be a 5-yard mark-off. And how you can tell that, they don't have a play clock here at Lake County. When the back judge gets his official high in the hair, he's got like 5 seconds left as he marks it down, just like the clock. And when it gets down, you out of time.
Back to the 44-yard line. And it will be now 1st and 15 for Lake County. The Falcons 8-1. They beat Greenfield in a big game for them last week, 34-7.
A little bit of confusion here for Lake County getting the play in here. It's going to be Johnson, the Wildcat there.
Yep.
You got to figure it's going to be a direct snap to him going left.
He's dwarfed by Snyder back there with him. Snyder will block for him, and boy, a nice play defensively. The guy that turned that in, the tackle made by Coleman, also there for the tackle too, was number 59, that being Garrett Bond. But the guy that turned that whole thing in that time, Stan, I'm losing the number now. Let's wait and see. I think it was actually turning that play back in right into the meat of that defense was Eli Morris, excuse me.
What you're seeing is when they're in this formation, their strong side of the formation is to the right now.
Second down and a good 15 again. And darting right up underneath people is Johnson. He moves down to about the 35 stand. He just lowered his body and went under people that time, even including his own lineman, and he's down to about the 34-yard line.
6-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 10, 13 carries, 76 yards unofficially for Mr. Desmond Johnson.
Rob Cole tuned in tonight, watching and listening as well. Appreciate. We had the catfish from Boyette's, the hush puppies, the French fries. Mike Moore took care of us just like he said he would. Well, here goes a big play. Second down and 10 now. They pick up the 5 they lost. TCA jumped. I think they're going to get TCA jumping across encroachment, I think, Stan.
Yeah, we're going to give them 5. Sadly, we don't use the college rule. There was no contact on the play, but it is going to be a 5-yard mark-off.
Officials have done a good job here tonight. They have not been a factor. Now the scoreboard goes out down to the left. They're having a little problem with that. In this rain, now it comes right back on.
Yeah.
7:38 left. Took Stan out about an hour and a half to get up from Jackson tonight.
I remember when the scoreboard would go out at Lambeth in the gym every once in a while. I'd have to try and hot wire that thing back together.
Remember, I had to borrow Oman Arena's
you stole
shot clocks.
Dave, can we have a shot clock back?
After I left Lambeth and went to Bethel, that's about 8 years ago, I got a call one day from Oman Arena says, hey, where are our shot clocks? Lambeth had not taken them back. I think they finally got them back. We'll be at Oman Arena here coming up right after Thanksgiving with the Invitational. 34-yard line, a lot of college, a lot of high school basketball or football is yet to be played, but basketball is overlapping here in the next day or two. Here's Johnson in the Wildcat on a 3rd down and 10. Big play here. Probably 2-down territory for them, but
got to be going to the short side of the field.
TCA, and now what do we have? Timeout. Coach Puckett didn't like something, and they're about to run out of time again. And the young coach calls a timeout. Timeout on the field, 7:16 in the half. 8-0 Lake County, and they've got the ball in TCA territory again. Who's going to win this series? We'll find out right after this 30 on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios. Stay with us.
Here's TCA Booster Club President Craig Fuller.
The TCA Booster Club's mission is to promote and support all of the athletic programs by uniting parents, students, coaches, faculty, and staff, working together as one community to train young champions for Christ. This year's officers also include Greg Maxfield, Jennifer Cunningham, Scott and Katie Yeaglin, and Jenny Gray. Thank you to these officers, our members, and our corporate sponsors for graciously supporting the athletic programs at Trinity Christian Academy. Go Lions!
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCulley and Stan Gerard.
Garrett Bond's grandmother, Connie Bond, watching this game. And Dave, one-year-old colorman Lee Hayes tuning in as well.
Does color on the Peabody Network, does a great job, and Lee is a huge Dodger fan. Lee, I'm pulling for your Dodgers because you can't be a Yankee fan and pull for the Red Sox. So go Dodgers. You need to come back on that, buddy. Lee Hayes, great friend of ours. Known him since he was a little bitty guy. Here's Johnson, the Wildcat, on the 3rd down and 10. Runs it, breaks a tackle, but the Lions hold on. And a nice tackle there by the shoestrings. Eli Morris. Also, Justin Moore had the top part of the tackle. And it brings up now 4th and about 7.
Pickup of 3 on the play for Johnson. He has 79 yards on 14 carries. This is one where they're going to go for it. Definitely out of field goal range, and I don't think they're going to punt here. But with Johnson in the backfield, this is not necessarily a long shot by any stretch.
Even in this rain, Paul and Lawson do a great job. Look at that picture, folks. In a driving rain drizzle, anyway. Johnson drops, wants to throw, got a man open. It's caught. And it's caught down inside the 10-yard line. Is that Snyder that caught it?
Yeah.
Yep. Snyder, the quarterback, used as a receiver that time. Sort of a floater, a fluttering kind of pass, and he held on. He was hit hard by TCA. You get a good picture of it here if you're watching the game. Squares, throws, and there's Snyder holding on, and Riley Graves made him pay, tried to dislodge the ball, but Snyder, credit him, he hung on, stand a big catch.
My, big play as they've got the ball now. 1st and goal, about the 9.
Yep, great catch.
21-yard pickup.
Nice throw under the circumstances, and even a better catch. Boy, Graves got a good beat on him, a good clean hit, but he could not dislodge that football. They run the Wildcat again. Clapping his hands, here goes Johnson. Johnson to the 5, and he stopped there. Coleman got a hand and tripped him up, and then finished off by Garrett Bond.
TCA starting to read that running play a little bit. It looks like we may have gotten a little bit of an adjustment there. He's not getting the big breakaway runs that he was earlier, but nevertheless, they call us napping with the passes. They don't throw often, but like I said earlier in the broadcast, when they do, they're very opportunistic about it.
Nancy Lack says, go TCA and go Justin Moore. We've got folks, or have, I should say, folks from Lake County.
Grandmother on his mother's side.
Lake County and TCA, a lot of fans watching and listening tonight. 2nd down and goal. Johnson and the Cat again. He'll run behind. He's going to go in. He goes in basically untouched. Boy, a nice block by Snyder again. And the offensive line opening up a gaping hole there. And, folks, it's now 14-0.
Gashing the holes. Great job by the left side of the Lake County offensive line.
It's a 9-yard run, a 6-yard run. What was that? 6-yard run.
And
so Johnson, his 2nd rushing touchdown. Yep, sorry. They're going to run and go for 2 again, apparently. 5:21 left here in this half. Well, Stan, you can't fall much behind, further behind on a night like tonight if you're TCA. Of course, Lake County's got to feel really good about themselves right now. They run this time again, Johnson and the Cat. He'll run here to the left, trying to get a block. He's going to scoot down near, I think he's going to be stopped. The tent impedes our sight there, but he's tackled. Coleman and others making the stop, so he didn't get in that time. But it's a 14-0 game with 5:21 left in the half. Stay with us at 30. You're watching on Worthy Road Studios, and you're listening on 105.3. That's Fox Sports Jackson 105.3. Back after this 30. Stay with us.
Lunchtime, you're hungry. We know how you feel. Your mouth wants Little Caesars, and your wallet wants a deal. 4 slices of beef fish and a soda on for you. Hot and ready for $5, and this is what you do. Bite, dip. That's what makes the combo. Bite, dip. Do the deep dish combo mambo. For lunch.
Pizza. Little Caesars Lunch Combo. Hot and ready 11 to 2 p.m. at participating locations plus tax.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCulley and Stan Gillard.
Lake County has moved out to the 14-0 lead. 5:21 to go in our first half of play. TCA struggling all night long, Diamond Dave.
Yeah, they really are. This rain, the drizzle getting a little harder too. Mays will kick it away here. And that's Frankie Mays. We have Craig Lund over McKenzie watching tonight. Patrick Bunch is tuned in. Rhonda Goodlow Rachel says, let's go Campbell Puckett. So she's a Lake County fan tuned in tonight. And here is the kick. And Davis is going to scoop it up at about the 20. Drop it, pick it right back up. He's got some room. 30, 35, trying to get here to the near side and stopped at the 40. Boy, if he's not tackled by Mays, the kicker, at about the 39-yard line, Davis had 6.
That is a great open field tackle.
By a 300-pounder.
Yeah, you're going to see him go up the middle, untouched here. Kicker comes in, look at him, squared his shoulders, wrapped up, and the big hit. What Mays did, he looked at his hips, because wherever Kevin Davis's hips go, he followed and made the nice tackle.
That's
perfect textbook form.
good athleticism by the big guy. 300 pounds. Spurgeon.
Runs like I do.
In the gun, looks, throws, wants to go down to Davis, and it's going to be incomplete. Out through everyone there that time, down to about the 35-yard line. And Spurgeon playing only his second game. If you folks don't know, he had the broken jaw before the season and just came in last week for the first time to play. Good to have him back out there. His dad, Kyle, Chamber of Commerce there in Jackson, Madison County. Jimmy T. Leak is watching tonight as well. Here's Spurgeon. Sends doubles far side left. Big play in this series. Second down. Here's a throw out there to Davis, and it goes behind him. And threw it behind him, incomplete. Not a lateral. It's a forward pass. And it's 3rd down and 10. And Stan Lion offense really struggling right now.
You're going to see on this replay, try to get him out in the flats.
Ball got away from him.
Yeah, and he had the opportunity to make some yards. I think Graves could have made a key block if he could have got that, and he would have had some big yards because they were trying to cover Davis that time with Snyder. And I'm going to say, Snyder's a good player, but that ain't going to work.
Sisk and Lambert here to the near side. Spurgeon bobbles, hands it off to Coleman. Nowhere. Gets the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Yeah.
A bobble on the snap. Spurgeon had the presence of mind to stay with it and gave it to Coleman, and I mean they were waiting on him. So they've had an answer for Davis. They've had an answer for Coleman for the most part. And punting for the 4th time tonight, Alex Northcutt.
Northcutt's done a good job so far punting the football. Need another big effort out of the cerebral assassin right here.
He's done a good job tonight, especially under these circumstances, and we'll lay it out there in a nice booming punt. Great punt. Drives Johnson back to his 20, looking for a hole, and he'll get back up to about the 25, scoot his way to the 26, and there on the stop, Needham Goodwin there, along with Addison Coleman and others. That Coleman is just what a football player he is, folks. He leads all West Tennessee in tackles, and even on special teams, he's down there. Good downfield coverage by the punting unit that time.
41-yard kick, 7-yard return, and Lake County is going to set up shop at about their own 27, Dave.
We work in our listeners and the viewers from Lake County's version of it as well. Bethany Koppel says, "Go Falcons," and the Puckett men from East Tennessee. So we appreciate everyone listening and watching, no matter who you pull for tonight. Johnson and the Wildcat. Important for TCA to stop them, and, of course, Lake County would love to get something going. They give it to Puckett. Puckett to the 30. Puckett 35. Puckett will dart out of bounds at about the 41-yard line, and he's going to get about 12 yards, Stan, about 13 yards on the carry.
You're going to see he's going to pick up the 12-yard pickup here, and what you're going to see, a little bit of holding. Officials didn't get that call, but nevertheless, first down for Lake County.
41-yard line, 1st and 10, clock running or stopped that time at 4:24 left here. Puckett and Johnson have been the stars tonight running the ball. Johnson has 2 touchdowns. And the Lions trying to keep him at bay. Lake County trying to up their lead. Singles each way. 4-man front there by TCA on the downside of it anyway. Here's a nice play there. Getting back and penetrating that time and knocking him off balance, Johnson, was Eli Morris, who's really, again, having a really nice first half defensively. Brian Jones over in Huntington watching tonight, listening. Good hello to him. Huntington has the night off tomorrow. They, like Dyersburg, have pretty well dominated their competition all year. Clock running under 4 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, you could see on that play Morris did a good job getting penetration, blew that play up. He disrupted their blocking scheme, and others were able to come in and make the tackle for no gain.
Scott D. Davis watching up in Indiana tonight as well. Here is Desmond Johnson. He's been a force to say the least. He's going to run it out of that formation again, and he'll dart his way by a couple of would-be tackles, breaks it, and Eli Morris holds on and gets him at TCA's 47, or he's going to go again. Stan, they're just, you got to credit their offensive line, Lake County, right now. They're giving him, he doesn't need a big hole, but they're giving him just enough crease that he can slither his way through there.
16 carries, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Mr. Johnson. Another first down there in TCA territory at the 46.
I guess the three most famous people here from Tiptonville, Bill Haney, Carl Perkins, and Jerry Reese. 3:15 left here. Right now, these kids are making a name of their own, and that's the whistles before they Lake County lined up off sides.
Oh, boy, we could have used that one because we would have recovered that fumble.
Yeah, the whistle, though, shrill before even he got the ball in his hands, but a good break there for Lake County to some degree because he did fumble. Coach Puckett getting an explanation from the official here.
Huge break that Lake County committed a penalty because that was going to be a turnover.
Yeah, sometimes by the luck of the draw, you're lucky, and sometimes unlucky. It's just the nature of the game. 1st and 15. Under 3 minutes, clock running in the first half. Lake County leading 14-0. They have a 70-yard drive capped off by the 17-yard run by Johnson, then a 6-yard run by Johnson just a few minutes ago. Snyder back in there, hands it off here to Desmond Johnson. He breaks a tackle to the 50 and darts out of bounds near TCA's 45. Addison Coleman upsetting himself because he didn't make that stop in the backfield.
Yeah, he had an opportunity in the backfield.
He doesn't miss many, though, does he?
He came blitzing in and just a bit to the inside, but he's down to the 45-yard line.
Good luck to all
46.
you teams tomorrow, you folks, you fans that are watching this one. Your teams play tomorrow. Some have the day off. Stan has the night off. I'll be in Columbia, Kentucky tomorrow night getting ready for the 5th-ranked Bethel Wildcats to take on the 10th-ranked Lindsey Wilson Blue Raiders. Airtime 1 o'clock, kickoff at 1:30 on 100.9 up in Huntington. That ball goes right through Snyder's hands. He'll have to fall back on it, and he falls on it right at the 40-yard line. Favara back there trying to get a piece of it. That ball obviously wet when they snap it and wet when you try to field it. We've seen that several times with running backs and quarterbacks tonight.
High snap there, and haven't seen if they've gotten a new serum because all of a sudden it's becoming a snapping issue. And when the ball goes over a 6'4" guy's head, that means that he pretty much jacked that snap.
3rd down at Ridgely now with 2:11 left here and the clock running. And now if TCA could stop them, they could come out of this possibly a good field position. Lake County trying to convert on a big 3rd down and 25.
And I don't know if they'll run a pass play here or just trying to get out of this and survive with the running game. But I suspect a run to the right.
Doubles here to the near side, short side of the field. They're going to run it to the right. You read it beautifully. And here's Johnson. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, and finally out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. And, boy, that's got to drive Blake Butler across the way nuts as you had him on a 3rd and 25. And the fleet-footed Johnson doing his damage all the way down to about, Stan, they say he goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line down to our left.
41-yard pickup on the play. 144 yards on 18 carries.
He just ran away from people there. TCA lucky to get him out of bounds at the 20. Craig Lund says he's going to Columbia. That's about a 5-hour drive. Even the way I drive, it's 5 hours. Here's Johnson in the Wildcat. Has Puckett to his left. Snyder in the up position, blocking back, I would think again. They follow him. They follow Puckett as well. And tackle back at the 19-yard line. And finally knocked him out of bounds. Nice play by Chilcutt and others. And Bond getting up a little slow, but he's okay as well. Well, it's a pickup, a short pickup, maybe of a yard. They gave him a yard to the 19. 2nd and 9. 1:36, clock arrested. We'll have analysis at halftime. Stan will have stats. And Johnson, by far, has been the stat leader tonight. Over 100 yards now, Stan, right?
145.
Well, they have Snyder back there and Puckett to his right.
Johnson's out in the slot.
Yep, he is. Snyder checking his left wristband, 1:36 and a half. Lake County threatening, leading already 14-0. Snyder bulldozes his way down to about the 15. He just lowered the shoulder pads and plowed his way into defenders. Cross and Bond and Chilcutt and others there. J-Mo.
Pickup of 4 on the play. They sent Johnson out as a wide out almost on that play, a decoy, and you got to cover him. You've got to respect his ability out there and cover him. We had Needham Goodwin out on the coverage. They may have been doing that to see what kind of coverage we're going to get. They could come back with that and go to him.
Heavy drizzle is picked up again. The Lake County bench screaming. They thought TCA jumped off sides again. and no cigar. 3rd down and 6 at the 16-yard line. Clock running with 55 seconds and now timeout. Lake County, I think, calls a timeout, and they do. We take one as well. 55.5 seconds left in the half. Lake County threatening and leading already, 14-0. This is TCA football on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios. Stay with us.
I had my doubts when corporate hired goats to work in my department, but it's been great until I lost my Regions personal check card. I was like, guys, relax. Regions Lock It lets me lock and unlock my Regions personal cards for online, in-store, or ATM transactions. Regions Lock It is the GOAT.
Open a Regions checking, credit, or Now Card account with new Lock It. It's secure, easy to use, and customizable. Regions. Member FDIC. Your mobile carrier's messaging and data fees may apply.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCulley and Stan Gerard.
55.5 seconds to go in our first half of play. It's 3rd and 6 at Lake County. They've got the ball deep in TCA territory at the 16-yard line. It's a team that's been running to the strong side of the formation all night long. Johnson and the Wildcat once again.
Puckett to his right. Here's the snap back to the little guy. He breaks loose again. Boy, he's elusive. He moves inside the 15 down to about the 10-yard line. He's got the first down and stand. It looked like TCA had him pretty well defended, and he was able to literally, I use the word slither again, slither his way for the first down, and the ball now where? At about the 8-yard line. 1st and goal there, 40 seconds left in the half. Lake County leading 14-0 and threatening again. The Falcons trying to fly high on a rainy night here at their home place. A little confusion now what they want to do. Got to watch the clock if you're a Falcon fan. Here's Johnson. Johnson comes here to the near side. He's going to break to the far side left. And let's see, is he in? I can't tell, but he is. Touchdown. From 8 yards out, he moves in. Actually, at the 6-yard line is where they said it was. It's a 6-yard scamper, and Johnson has scored his 2nd touchdown from 6 yards out, his 3rd of the night. The first one was a 17-yard run. And just like that, it's 20-0, Lake County leading, Stan.
And it's just a great job of blocking by the Lake County offensive line all night long. Here they go with that gimmick.
Yeah, they go for 2, and Snyder's going to do the little jump pass, and it's caught. I can't tell because of the tent. And we'll find out who caught that, but it is a 2-point conversion, and it's 22-0. We'll take a 30. We're back after this on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3.
Always dependable. Clement Automatic Transmission and Wrecker Service. Owners Jim and Connie Clement have been in business since 1979, building a reputation based on integrity and Christian principles, specializing in foreign and domestic transmission repair. Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, and 24-hour emergency wrecker service, local and long distance, damage-free towing, lockout service, and jump starts. Located 3846 Brownsville Highway in Jackson. Every time, depend on Clement Automatic Transmission and Wrecker Service. 422-6356. Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCulley and Stan Gerard.
Well, two-point conversions, and Stan calls them gimmick plays. Doesn't matter what they are, Stan. It's worked for them.
Successful.
But TCA on the short end of a 22-0 game here with 21.9 seconds left in the half. And Lake County having their way right now with the Lions.
And you can see from that shot the rain just kind of coming down in sheets, moving from east to west.
It really is. It was supposed to subside later tonight, but it's a soggy night and a rainy night. And just
we're not in Georgia, but it is a rainy night in Georgia.
If you're winning this kind of game, you love it. If you're losing it, it makes it more miserable.
Here's the deal. They're not afraid to kick to Kevin Davis.
Davis. And it's going to be fielded by Goodwin. He's up at about the 35. He's to the 40. And to the 45, scampers his way outside and finally sort of knocked out of bounds over there about the 45-yard line. Well, good field position. That's the good news. The bad news, only 15 seconds left in the half if you're a TCA fan watching the game tonight.
Yeah, ran about 35 yards to pick up 5 on that play.
Boy, TCA now has gone 4 quarters last week and almost 2 here without scoring a point. 50-0 to Peabody last week, and now 22-0 here. And offense is really out of sync right now. Spurgeon in there at the shotgun. Trying to make something magic, drops the ball, and will have to fall on it back at the 40-yard line. That's the kind of night it's been right now with 9 seconds. Let's see if Blake just lets this thing run out. I think that's what they're going to do. 4, 3, 2, 1, bang. The half is over. Lake County, the Falcons flying high up here in Tiptonville. It's 22-0 at the break. We take a 2-minute break. We're back. Halftime activities, stats, scoring recap, and more coming your way. Stan Gerard with stats back after this 2-minute message on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3.
At Sports Orthopedics and Spine in Jackson, their team of highly trained physicians utilize state-of-the-art facilities and techniques to restore your health and mobility. They treat every kind of orthopedic injury and condition, offering world-class care.
And they are uglier than one of my high school prom dates. I mean, these stats are so ugly, Jack Daniels couldn't fix those and make them look good.
You must have never had a really good-looking prom date.
Oh, I dated some homely girls in high school.
That's awful.
I dated some
Go
homely
ahead.
girls.
Before you get in trouble, let's go with the stats.
Yeah, let's look at the stats. Lake County with 178 yards rushing on the ground as a team, 21 through the air, 199 yards of total offense. TCA, 14 net yards rushing, 3 net yards passing, 21 yards. We have been, it's 199 to 21 on the total stats, total yardage for this game. Looking at the individual numbers, well, the only stat that's important is Desmond Johnson. 21 carries, 3 touchdowns, and 158 yards. Snyder has -7. Remember, he lost 11 on one play.
Puckett would have the others.
Puckett has 3 rushes for 27.
Yep.
Snyder has 1 reception for 21. But this is the Desmond Johnson show. Actually, this is the Desmond Johnson and the offensive line show for Lake County. The offensive line of Lake County simply dominating this ball game. and it's showing on the scoreboard 22-0.
Lake County will have the ball as we begin the third quarter as well. Let's take another 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll give you the scoring recap. And it's all Lake County thus far with 3 scores back after this. And by the way, hello to Jane Haynes-Vinson. She sends cheers, and we send those cheers right back at her. You're watching and listening TCA football tonight against Lake County here in Tiptonville. We're back after this 2-minute message on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios. Stay with us.
The Grove Primary Care Clinics in Henderson, Middleton, Scotts Hills, Somerville, Bolivar, and Jackson provide a unique holistic approach to primary health care as well as mental health and substance abuse services by seeking to meet the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual needs of their patients. President Jody Weiser said, whether house calls, short waits, or unrushed time with our providers, you'll quickly see that our providers practice health care the old-fashioned way. See all their services, including substance abuse treatment, and get more information on their website, thegroveclinics.com. You may be suffering from varicose veins. The Vein and Vascular Center at Jackson Surgical Associates specializes in giving the West Tennessee community the best in vascular care. For many years, Doctors David Laird, Daniel Day, and Garrison Smith have been providing state-of-the-art, compassionate surgical care. Get in-office, minimally invasive treatment, and you'll be feeling better in no time. Call for an appointment. 664-7395. Located 395 Hospital Boulevard. Learn more at vbcjackson.com. Boya Financial Advisors Stephen Brad Little, Kyle Williams, Brian Bush, and Justin Howell are proud to support Trinity Christian Academy.
You're a good man, Coach.
Anything
Thanks.
is possible with the right planning. To find out more about Boya Financial Services, call 668-9818. Here's more about Trinity. Head of School Judy Brown, Elementary School Principal Christy Timms, Middle and High School Principal Dusty Warren, Athletic Director Ken Northcutt, Head Football Coach Blake Butler. Boya Financial Advisors encourages TCA to train young champions for Christ.
Hi, this is Kelly Bortney McCormack, Trinity Christian Academy alum. I'm proud to be serving my community as a licensed insurance agent with White & Associates Insurance Carpenter Agency. We are asking you to help us give back to those in need in our community through our customer referral program. For every friend you refer to our office for an insurance quote, we will donate $10 to the Arise to Read program, helping improve the reading skills of Jackson's youth. Send your friends to see us and help us make a difference. Visit our website at whiteandassociates.net or come by our office at 18 Conrad Drive.
WTJK Humboldt-Jackson is Fox Sports Jackson.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Diamond Dave McCully and Stan Gillard.
Hey, fans, don't forget, as we mentioned during the play-by-play earlier, Diamond Dave Sports every Monday night from 5 to 7. That's from 5 to 7 here on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3. We will not have the show Monday night. We'll catch you abreast if we're going to do that later in the week one night or not. But I do have college basketball with Bethel opening up actually this weekend, the women. And then we have a game Monday night, a broadcast up in Carroll County. So no action there for you. When we return to Jackson tonight, Stan, obviously a lot of high school action tomorrow night in some key games. But this one has been one tonight that's certainly been disappointing for TCA, the faithful. And if you're a Lake County fan watching or listening, you've enjoyed it. But certainly it's been a performance tonight by Lake County. Their offensive line, as Stan told you a moment ago, the stars of the game thus far. 17-yard run by Johnson at the 22-second mark of the first stanza. That capped off a 70-yard drive, the two-point conversion. Snyder to Puckett on the pass made it 8-0 Lake County. And then we moved to the second stanza. It was a 6-yard run by Johnson, and that coming at the 5:24 mark. And that made it 14-0. The two-point conversion no good. And then with 21.9 seconds left, just a few minutes ago, the 6-yard run by Johnson again made it 20-0. 22-0 on the two-point conversion on the gimmick play as they lined up. But we couldn't tell because of the tent. And no one in the press box, even the Lake County folks, they don't know who caught that pass as well. But 22-0, certainly not over, she said, 24 minutes. But, boy, first of all, got to stop them as Lake County has the ball to begin the third quarter if you're a TCA fan. Lake County, obviously, you want to move it in and put the game away, but TCA's got to find a way to move the ball against it. And we haven't maybe credited Lake County's defense enough. They've really done a good job stymieing the attack of TCA tonight.
Well, they certainly have, but this game starts with Desmond Johnson, and he's the A part of the game, the B part of the game. Obviously, their offensive line, and they've had a great scheme tonight, folks.
Bless you.
Oh, excuse me. I hope.
Bless you, sir.
Hope I didn't give me a cold there listening to this broadcast, but This is something that I didn't see on any of the film that I watched. Basically, what Lake County is doing is running a modified version of an old school single wing. Now they're not pulling anybody on the offensive line like a traditional single wing does, but they're lining up in a single wing formation with the big quarterback Snyder as the blocking back on that play, and either one back or two backs. And with the exception of that one pass play that they threw to Snyder, they are running exclusively to the strong side of the field. Every single play, we've got to be able to make that adjustment on the field until they beat us. But we've got to be able to adjust to that and stop them for a while. For a few plays, we did stop them and slow them down a little bit. But they picked the pace back up, and right now they're just simply gashing us, and there's nothing we can do.
I like what they do, too. They move that quarterback, Snyder, 6'3", 225. They move him up, and they use him as a blocker, and it's worked really well for them.
In the old traditional single wing, the blocking back, which in this case is Snyder, that's what was called the quarterback, even though he is an up blocking back. That was what was traditionally called the quarterback of the formation. He's lying up behind the guard, and he's acting as a pulling guard on that play, lead blocking for Johnson through the hole. And, he's 6'3", 225 pounds. That's a load to bring down, and Johnson is very small in stature. He can simply hide behind Snyder, make his cuts, and as Davis, we saw on one play, he just went underneath people.
He sure did, and they don't have to open up a big hole, but the offensive line's done just enough of that tonight to give him a little bit of a hole. He doesn't need much, but their O-line has really played well. The Vols at South Carolina this week, very sad news today in Jackson, and for the Vol Nation, Trey Smith out now, and definitely blood clots in the lungs again. Our thoughts and prayers for Trey Smith and his family.
Yeah, that's that was an issue he had. He picked up during the off season at some point, and that's come back to rear its ugly head. My Cats in Columbia, Missouri this week. Good luck to the Wildcats of UK as well. And again, not a Dodger fan by any means, although I do pull for them because of Lee Hayes. But you can't be a Yankee fan and pull for Boston, so go L.A. Eric Allison doing a good job with the music down here. The gang have been great. Mike Moore, the former Lambeth standout. Mike was back in the 2006 era with Vic Wallace when we were there for 18 seasons. And a nice effort by him up here every day, Eric tells me. Great athletic director. He's been here 4 years now. Great friend of ours. We appreciate the hospitality. Good to see Howard Todd, the longtime principal here at Lake County early tonight as well. Let's take a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll see if the Lions can mount the comeback or the Falcons fly away in this thing. They lead 22-0 here in Tiptonville. A rainy night up here in Lake County. We're back after this 2-minute message on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3, and Worthy Road Studios will rejoin us on the video side here in a couple of minutes with Paul and Lawson. Stay with us, everybody.
Your first home is like this dream. The day you walk in, the sun seems to shine more brightly. The ceilings, they just seem taller. And you'll never fix that creaky floorboard because it sounds like comfort. What a hug would sound like if it made a sound. And that's when you realize you're home. Really, really home. Realize your dream with a home loan from Simmons Bank. Dreams realized. SimmonsBank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval.
Hurt Seed Company in Halls credits teamwork for their success since they were founded 4 generations ago in 1932. Today, brothers Trey and Ray Hurt appreciate the hard-working, dedicated employees they consider and treat as family. Several Hurt family children and grandchildren attend Trinity and help promote teamwork in TCA's athletic program. Hurt Seed Company, wholesalers and processors of soybeans and wheat, working closely with the agricultural community of West Tennessee to produce quality seeds. Teamwork in action. Let's go, Lions.
Happy Football Friday to you. This is Pepper Pratt from Youthtown of Tennessee. We offer professional residential substance abuse treatment to kids not only in West Tennessee but all across the state. One of the things that we offer is not only the tools of recovery but also the irreversible life change that comes through the gospel of Jesus Christ. I hope you might consider joining us as we try to help kids that may not be able to afford our services by going to our website at youthtown.net and click the donate page to go the extra mile for kids.
In football, if you focus on the fundamentals like blocking, tackling, and work extremely hard, then you have a pretty good chance of winning the game. Hello, I am Jason Robertson with First Bank. From commercial loans to online banking, we have the services you need and are prepared to work hard for you. We are your friends and neighbors and are ready to give you the attention that you deserve. First Bank, first in experience, first in service, and first in convenience. We want to be your bank. First Bank, where you matter most. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCulley and Stan Gerard.
Lake County back on the field down to our right. We'll have the video back with you in a few minutes with Worthy Road Studios. Rod Parker tuned back in tonight watching. Big hello to Rod, Hot Rod. Meanwhile, Chip Thomas from Thomas Media, he's watching as well. Of course, his youngsters have gone to TCA. And Bill Thomas, one of our fine managers over at Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 as well. Stan? In case people are just joining us, 22-0 here at halftime. 3 touchdowns by Desmond Johnson have led the way behind the big offensive line for Lake County. We've talked about it several times. Let's recap through for the folks. What do you think TCA has to do to get back in the game here?
Hope Johnson doesn't play in the second half.
I think that's not probably going to come to fruition. I think that
I think I see him out there. So, you know, the Jackson Mafia didn't get a hold of him at halftime. No. And I say that in all jest because Desmond Johnson has simply dominated this ball game. No if and let me take that back. Desmond Johnson and the offensive line of Lake County have dominated this ball game.
When you were talking to Blake earlier, I came down and visited with he and with Drew Hayes, the quarterback coach. Big hello to Glenn and Joyce Hayes over in McKenzie, by the way. Great friends of ours, lovely people, and just dear friends of ours. And Drew about to get married here pretty soon to Mariah McKenty, young lady out of Benton, Kentucky. And they make a great couple, and they'll have a great life together. And we wish them the merry blessings of life. But getting back to my point, you were talking to Blake, and after the interview, I asked him, I said, how good is Lake County? He thinks this team has a chance to make a deep run again, just like they did last year.
Well, remember, after TCA beat them last year 16-13, they went to the Final Four where they lost to Cornersville 7-0. So they were 8 points away from playing for a state championship.
Exactly right, yeah.
And, you know, as you can see, if we can get a shot of the light post again, you can really see the rain starting to come down. There's that shot. Look at the sheets of rain moving from right to left. That's going from the east to the west.
True warrior tonight is Paul. Paul's out there with that camera. Lawson's in here with us. He's high and dry just like we are. And when they opened that door down to Lawson's right, to my right here, you could really feel that coolness coming in as well. I had actually unzipped my jacket and zipped it back up. Gene DeArmond says he's had enough of it as well. He's coming back in here. But you see there's Cindy Lambert right up there at the top. Lane Lambert's mom having some popcorn, but good shot of the TCA fans that have made the trip. Been a good traveling road show this year. And certainly many have weathered the storm here tonight. You can see the wind really whipping around. See the young lady's hair there really whipping around as well, Stan.
It is really.
You don't want to look to your right or to their left or our right.
These are brutal conditions.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. Probably right now as brutal as it's been all night. You really get a good angle of it with the camera. You can see it with the camera more than you can't even hear in our. There's some trees down to our right in the end zone down to my right, and boy, the trees really whistling around down there too. You can get a good idea of that wind down there. With Paul's going to get a shot of that here as we move down there. Up there they go. You can really see that those trees really. Those are big trees. They're really that wind really ripping through them. Well, TCA will have to kick it here to Lake County, and Lake County, the Falcons already lead the game 22-0. This Lake County team awfully good. Peabody's still the best team I've seen this season.
Yeah.
They are really loaded. Coach Jacobs has done a wonderful job over there. And, of course, that's because he's married to Meredith Richardson Jacobs, good buddy of ours from Bradford, then via Union. Stan, our thoughts and prayers for the Union family tonight. We understand the assistant softball coach passed away. That don't know yet what actually happened, but our thoughts and prayers for that family and to the Union family as well. Lopez to kick it away, and Stan, first time we've seen him tonight, isn't it?
Normally a very strong leg kicker. He's going to have to kick into a brief. Diamond Dave, why not an onside kick right here?
Yeah, you have nothing to lose. Tanya Phelps Rogers, our lovely buddy, she's tuned in and watching as well. So we get ready. More people as we see the counter joining us now. It's the second half about to begin. TCA needs to stop. Lake County, of course, would love to put this thing away with a score. Here is Lopez's kick. And gathering it in about the 10 to the 15, and she's running out of bounds with it. Smart play there. Is that Johnson again? Yep, it's Desmond Johnson.
doing it Franco Harris style, getting what he can and getting out of bounds.
Yeah,
That's one of the reasons Franco had such a long career. He knew when to challenge. He knew when to get out of bounds.
He's a big guy, too. Had a big hello to Janet and Keith Butler, Blake's mom and dad. Somewhere his lovely wife, Allison, over there with the kids is weathering and braving this storm. But it gets cold and rainy and sleet and snow up in Pittsburgh, I know, but it's about as bad here as it can get right now as far as no sleet or snow, thank goodness, but the rain coming down. Well, Lake County will have it. They'll have it where? At their own 22-yard line stand? Yep.
That would be affirmative.
Just over the 20. 1st and 10. They bring Desmond Johnson back out there again. It's the Johnson show tonight. He'll follow Puckett's block and move his way up to about the 25, and good tackle there. We've got one of the Lake County kids shaking up. Let's hope he's all right. They're trying to help him up there. Good interference that time run by several of the Lion defenders, and you get a good picture of it if you're watching this. You see Favar getting in there, and the guy coming across was Addison Coleman. Coleman's around the football. Now let's hope the Falcons okay. Still a prayer for him as he's down. That's big number 63. That's one of their captains who came out earlier tonight. And if I could see my sheet, I'd tell you who that is. That's going to be now is number 63. That's Jordan Runyons. He was one of the captains, and let's hope he's all right. Say a little prayer for him. Coach Puckett is out there. You see Cross getting up, or Morris. Stands a physical game, no doubt about it. Pretty brutal.
Well, the good thing is he's sitting upright, so I think he's going to be.
Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him. He's limping a little bit, though, favoring the leg. Yeah. At this juncture of the season, too, a worst nightmare for either coach is to get someone banged up in this game with the playoffs looming here the next week.
Yeah, it would be wise to get that young man out of the game and have him not return.
And they're going to bring in, replacing him, 59, that's going to be Peyton Kelly, who plays a lot of defense for them. David Lytle is tuned in. And Janet says they are watching up from Pennsylvania. The weather looks like last week. I mean, it was bad last week at times. I know I loaned Tally Warren my jacket because we were high and dry and inside, and it was brutal outside. Well, 2nd down and a long 6, short 7. Desmond Johnson in the gun again. He'll run to the right. Bang! He's hit back there by Eli Morris. What a nice tackle. Got him up around the numbers. That's the kind of play, if you're a TCA fan watching, like Janet and Keith Butler, that the Lions need to make. Boy, an outstanding tackle, right numbers to numbers.
And look at this. We got great penetration on that play. Morris wraps him up, drives him into the ground. That fumble, the ground cannot cause a fumble, but a loss of about 4 on the play brings up 3rd and 12 for Lake County. Did a great job. Finally got some penetration, read that right, got him wrapped up, and you can take it to the bank. As long as they're in that formation, they're going to continue to run to the strong side.
And that, an outstanding tackle by Morris. As you forget sometime, he's just a sophomore. Harrison Freeman can't get in there and get Johnson. He scoots to the 20, 25, up to about the 26. He gallops his way, where he stopped by Favara that time, and Coleman making actually the wrap-up. We brag a lot on Addison Coleman, and he deserves every bit of our praise. 10-20, and that's going to bring out the punting unit for the Lions. The Falcons. So the Lions could come out of this with great field position, something they desperately need, down 22-0.
What is this, the second punt of the night for Lake County?
I think just the second punt, yeah.
Second punt of the night for Lake County.
Those bright green helmets. And they'll punt it away from about the 15.
TCA not out of it, but a nice return by Kevin. Whoa.
Puckett took a little delay that time and then gets it out of there, and it takes a nice, great punt.
Good night.
Great punt. All the way down to about the 20-yard line. He got the nice roll on it. He took his time and moved over to his right, sort of sidewinded it down the field and got the great roll on it.
Was that about a 44-yard punt?
I think it was 44, 45 yards. 1st and 10 for the Lions. They had the ball down 22-0.
And that's what we would have been rushing by. We would have been able to stop that.
That's right. 9:50 left here.
Yeah. Well, the defense answered the call, Dave.
Spurgeon will bring out the offensive unit. Lions only could muster 21 yards of total offense in the first half. They're in the Wildcat with Davis behind Spurgeon. Coleman to his right. High snap. Gives it to Davis. Davis hit immediately. Drop back at the 15. That's a loss of 4 or 5 yards, Stan. They are really shooting the gaps. Outstanding defensive play by several of the Lake County Falcons.
Yeah, that was, just great penetration there on that play by the Lake County defense. That was one of their upmen who got through there and did
Sure was. He shot right through there. So it's 2nd down and 15 after a loss of almost 5. They give it to Davis, far side left. He is able to scoot his way back to the line of scrimmage and maybe get 2 or 3 yards up to about the 17. That's it. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 13.
Yep.
Well, let's call it 3rd down and 12. 9:07 clock running, 22-0 Lake County. Quickly play game because of all the running.
Yep.
Had a few passes here and there, and that's been about it. We're under 9 minutes to the 3rd stanza.
Going to have to be careful going home because the state troopers love this stretch of highway between here and Dyersburg.
It will be Davis in motion here the near side. Spurgeon drops back, sacked. Sacked back inside the 15. Lane Lambeth was down here open, but he's upset that they didn't get him the ball, but Spurgeon just didn't have enough time.
And TCA going to be forced to punt once again.
5th punt for Northcutt.
Yeah. Boy, going to have a good snap again. He's going to be just about in his own end zone.
Yeah, he's right at the goal line, isn't he?
Yeah.
And that brings Johnson up here. Johnson's all the way up. He's not even going to try to field this. Almost blocked. Northcutt gets it out of there. And it takes a little bit of a TCA roll and will fall dead at about the 42. So Lake County will have great field position at the 42-yard line. And with 8:06 left here, it's 22-0 Lake County. The Workmans are here. Good to see them. Our former friend, or great still friends, but former great friends down in Trenton. Great to see. John and Susan, great to see them here up with us. And they're trying to stay dry. I don't blame you a bit. Just stay up here with us a little bit. Sean's been a great official through the years as well. You still officiating, sir? Still officiating. All right. Night off tonight. Who are you working tomorrow night? Dyersburg. All right. The Trojans are on the roll. Here is Johnson, or make it Snyder back there. He's back in. He gives it to Johnson. Why not? Breaks a tackle, 40, 35, and down to the 31-yard line. He's able to scoot. And we missed a tackle back here in the backfield, or they'd have had him. I think he's going to be let's see. No, it's a first down right at the 31-yard line.
Pick up a talent play. TCA had that one diagnosed pretty correctly, but missed tackles, and he gets the first down.
I'm not sure why. The Workmans look just as young as they always did, and I'm the older-looking guy. You guys look great. 31-yard line, 1st and 10. And it will be Snyder back there again. He has Puckett to the left, Johnson to the right. Sounds like a new hit record, doesn't it? 7:45. They give it. No, they throw it. It's going to be almost picked off. Riley Graves almost picked that thing off. It was thrown short that time, or he would have had it.
Graves. It's a good thing it was thrown short because receiver was behind the defense.
Riley already has 3 interceptions on the year. He could have had number 4 there, but the ball just eluded him. 7:42 left. 2nd down and 10. Gene DeArmond said earlier that Sean Workman is one of the best officials he has. So we'll wait and see. So that means he gets a big raise. But the 31-yard line, Gene says, be quiet, McCulley. I read a thing on Diamond Dave Sports the other night about Mo Berg, the spy that went to Japan with Garrick and Ruth. I read that the other night. Great story he sent me. Well, Johnson in the Wildcat stand. Here he goes. He's going to run that. There's the right again. This time the Lions get him. And they wrap him up. Eli Morris is having a heck of a game, folks.
Yeah. He's read Johnson 2 or 3 times and stopped him for no gain or a loss.
They love to run that thing to the right like you call it, don't they?
I mean, they're just running to the short side of the field. The exception would be on that. Every once in a while they're going to try and catch a snapping when they throw the football, but they are exclusively going to the power side of the formation with the run.
3rd down and 10.
Or wide side.
3rd and 10 at the 31. Probably 2-down territory for the Falcons. Lions trying to stop them. Down to 7 minutes in the 3rd. A little bit of a mix-up on the handoff that time. Snyder and Johnson both had it. And like a loaf of bread, they were fighting for it. And Johnson comes up with it, and he's dropped back at the 35. A big play there defensively for the Lions, and a mix-up and a big break for the Lions that time.
25 carries, 172 yards unofficially for Mr. Johnson.
Looks like they're going to bring Puckett out to punt the ball. This could be a fake. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, look who's is that Johnson? Is the
Johnson's
back?
He's the up guy there.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Unless that Singer's a magician, he's not going to snap that one.
Yep, Puckett's got to get it out of there. It's a high punt. I think that's going to get in the end zone. That's not what Coach Puckett wanted there.
No.
But it goes into the end zone. And his dad says, that's okay, son. 6:24. When he gets home tonight, he'll probably tell him then, I wish you'd have tried to kick that thing out of bounds. He's not happy with one of his linemen coming off. Coach Puckett is he?
Not real happy.
No, not happy at all. He's still jawing on him a little bit. Well, the Lions have it down 22-0, 6:24. If TCA has any chance to get back in the game stand, they've got to drive here. They've got to score. Yep. Yeah, this thing will get away from them if it doesn't.
You're going to have the win at your back in the fourth quarter, but you've got to score early.
Matt Spurgeon in the shotgun throws out here to Lambert at the 20 to the 25 and able to dive his way up near the 30-yard line. Nice play.
It's going to be close to the first down.
I think he has it. We haven't had many Jim and Connie Clement transmission to record service first downs, but there is one for you right there. We've not had yet any First Bank scoring plays for you as well tonight.
That was our biggest play from scrimmage tonight, the 11-yard pickup.
And us being the only game in town tonight, no U-Town football scoreboard for the U-Town folks as well. Davis in motion far side left and whistles. It's going to be illegal procedure against the Lions.
Well, when it rains, it pours.
A rainy night in Lake County, that would be an appropriate statement, I think.
Yeah. The lake's not going to run dry tonight.
No, not. 22-0, 6:03. My first visit up here in a while.
I was up here 3 summers ago for a weekend.
You were. You told me about that. 6:03, not far from Reelfoot.
Ate a lot of food up here.
Davis in motion this time, but they do the inside handoff to Coleman, and, boy, they read that beautifully. What a stop. Mays is there, as well as some other Lake County youngsters there.
What we did was we tried to fake the jet sweep and tried to get Lake County to over-pursue that, and then Coleman would be able to free up and go, but Lake County read that like a book, and
sophomore Rashawn Cheers read that beautifully, number 54.
Say that again.
Rashawn Cheers, 22-0. It's 2nd and 17 for the TCA Lions, who have not scored now in 6.5 quarters. Spurgeon drops. Spurgeon throws and incomplete. That one out of bounds, well covered. Beautifully covered there. That Lambert tried to go high to get it, but he was covered by Taylor that time. Craig Lund says, how was Boyette's? We didn't get a chance to go to Boyette's, although Mike Moore delivered food to us from Boyette's, and as always, delicious. Those hush puppies are hard to beat, aren't they?
It would have been nice if we could, but, you and I have real jobs during the day, and we had to fulfill our.
We had to hustle up here, didn't we?
Fulfill our obligations with other regular employers.
We stopped at that French restaurant in Friendship, McDonald's. It was 22-0.
I've had better.
It was okay.
It was all right.
Yeah, here's a high snap. Spurgeon drops. Spurgeon rolls. He's got to throw, and he's got to tuck it and run. And he's trying now. He's going to try to square and throw, and they're going to knock him down back there.
Oh, late flag coming in.
And a late flag coming in. Let's see what that's about. Boy, Spurgeon running for his life. And now another flag coming in. It's been a cleanly played game up to this point in time. So we had
the second one is going to be an unsportsmanlike of some sort.
We had that personal foul earlier tonight, but other than that, it's been a cleanly played game. And we'll see what Eric Ward's going to tell the crowd here. 5-10. I'm just glad the microphone for officials works at Bethel this year. I've been there 8 years, and it's our first year the mics worked. Knock on wood.
Unlike the scoreboard?
The scoreboard went out tonight for soccer. That's one thing I was trying to attend to doing the play-by-play here. Eric's going to tell us what it's about. Intentional grounding on TCA.
Unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike on TCA. It's been a frustrating night, Stan, no doubt about it. It's just been a tough night for TCA, and the yardage, we've got to be under 50 tonight, total yards.
Do what?
Under 50 yards, total yards, is that right?
Yeah.
I'm not being demeaning saying that if you're a TCA fan watching and listening. I'm just trying to be factual. I remember one year I talked about years ago when I was announcer for Trenton, Peabody, Gibson County, and Bradford. I talked about how poorly the offensive line for Peabody had played. And I didn't name all the kids, but it was just a really rough night for them. I love those kids, but boy, the parents got mad at me, wouldn't speak to me for about a month. 5-10 left here. And nothing against Peabody fans. It's that way with all fans. And Northcutt's going to have to punt it on a 4th and forever. We've got to get all the way to the 40, and the ball is all the way back where it's It's a loss of yardage and down, and Northcutt's going to punt it from his own end zone. And again, Johnson doesn't even, he's not even deep here. Now he drops back a little bit. And Northcutt punting into this win as well.
Saw something on the replay.
And he dropped, no, he's going to run it out of there, dropped it, and they're going to, it may be a safety. It is.
No, it's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown. He dropped the ball and they recovered. I apologize. We'll have to watch the monitor to see what happened here. Northcutt, Sean, good to see you, buddy. Give everybody my best. Great to see you. I sure will.
The snap.
And here is, he dropped it.
Snap.
He bobbled it, dropped it, and they fall on it right in the end zone. And coming up with it, can't tell yet who it was. Great replay here by Paul and Lawson. Lawson doing all that. And here is the ball, and I think it's going to be, is that number 8 that fell on it, Stan? I think it was. Let's wait and see. I think it was actually, or is that Campbell Puckett that may have fallen on it, number 9. Well, yeah, I think it was Puckett that came up with it. And now they run the 2-point conversion, and it's there by Snyder. Well, with 5:04, the long night gets longer for TCA, and now it is 30-0. And just like that, the Lions implode, and the Lake County Falcons take advantage. We'll take a 30 back after this with 5:04 in the third. Stay with us on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios.
This is Chuck Buell with Robinson Toyota. I'm a Trinity parent and a sales consultant here at Robinson Toyota. Do you want a different kind of car buying experience? If you do, come see me at Robinson Toyota. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, do it enthusiastically. It's something done for the Lord and not men. I strive to do that every day. Just ask all the Trinity families that have bought cars from me in the past 2 years. Come see me, Chuck Buell at Robinson Toyota, for a different kind of car buying experience.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Diamond Dave McCulley and Stan Gerard.
A long night gets longer. We fumble the punt in the end zone. Lake County recovers, and they now lead 30-0 with 5 minutes and 4 seconds to go in our third quarter. Dave, we'll be in Memphis next Friday night.
Looks like it. Sure will. 30-0.
Barring an earthquake that makes the Mississippi River flow backwards, and Desmond Johnson falls into a hole somewhere and can't get out.
Don't say that. This area had an earthquake the other morning. Thank goodness, no damage, no injuries. But we're in that earthquake kind of scenario here. 30-0. Mr. Mays will kick it away again. And here's the kick. Riley Graves at about the 25. Trying to get far side left. Cuts it back now to the 30. Nice hustle there, but he moves up to about the 30-yard line and will be dropped at about the 32 or 3. Well, the Lions come out offensively, and Lake County feeling good about themselves, and well, they should. And Stan, you get a good indication why this team's 8-1, though, don't you?
You certainly do, and Lake County primed for a playoff run. Lake County really believes that they're going to blow through the first 3 rounds of the state tournament. They play the teams out of Memphis, and that is a relatively weak division there. As Coleman goes around the corner, he's going to pick up some yardage.
To the 35, still on his feet, and out of bounds at about the 37 or 38-yard line.
Yeah.
Addison Coleman.
About 6 in the play.
This TCA crowd team will not quit. They'll keep playing hard, and Addison Coleman's a good indication of that as he goes out of bounds with 4:52 left here in this third. Ball at the 37. Second and about 5. Coleman and Spurgeon talking over. Davis will come out here. And Matt Spurgeon, only his second action of the year. 4:52, clock stopped as he went out of bounds. Doubles here to the near side. Now they put Davis in motion, give it to him on the jet sweep. Coleman trying to lead the block. Nice play. Davis cuts it up, 45. He's at the 50. He's on his feet to the 45. He may go. He's going to go. Kevin Davis will score. That's why he's a track star, ladies and gentlemen. And with 4:38, 63 yards by Kevin Davis, and the Lions finally break through and score here.
Nice run on the jet sweep. He got to the edge and got the score. You can see it on the replay here. Coleman lead blocking for him there. Makes the great block there that springs him open there.
And Mitch just made a nice block.
Yeah, and great running block by the wide receivers. He cut back inside, and there was no stopping him. You see why he's the state champion in the 100-yard dash.
No doubt about it. I mean, he turned it on. Now TCA will go for 2, down 30-6. Put Davis in motion again, bring him here to the near side. Spurgeon will roll here to the right and throw in the end zone. He's got Sis down there. Yes, It's a 2-point conversion. Mitch Sis caught it. Jeff will be happy about that, the Tiger fan. And it's a 2-point conversion, and now it's 30-8 with 4:38. And the Lions showing some spunk here. They're roaring across the way for the first time tonight. It's 30-8, 4:38 back after this 30 on Worthy Road Studios and Fox Sports Jackson 105.3.
Here's TCA Booster Club President Craig Fuller.
The TCA Booster Club's mission is to promote and support all of the athletic programs by uniting parents, students, coaches, faculty, and staff, working together as one community to train young champions for Christ. This year's officers also include Greg Maxfield, Jennifer Cunningham, Scott and Katie Eaglin, and Jenny Gray. Thank you to these officers, our members, and our corporate sponsors for graciously supporting the athletic programs at Trinity Christian Academy. Go Lions!
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCulley and Stan Gerard.
Teresa Hall Whitehead watching this game from the comfort of her home, along with Lee Williams-Miller, both watching this game tonight. So a variety of folks taking in this telecast.
From all over the area and all over the world. And certainly
we've seen folks from North Carolina listening tonight.
Tricia Hathcock is listening on the way back to Jackson from South Haven, Mississippi. Big hello to Tricia and the gang. Lee Williams-Miller watching tonight as well. John and Miss Lucy are walking, I would imagine, in this rain back in Jackson.
Onside kick coming up.
John, a big state fan. Here is the onside kick. It bounds around there high, and it's going to be fielded at about the 44-yard line, falling on it right there. Lake County comes up with it.
And he did a good job. If we can get one replay on that, I want to tell you why that play worked. Look at here. It goes to the ground. Bam, that high ball in the air there is what you want. That's what we had against Bay Academy, and Kevin Davis recovered. We just didn't have anybody there. But as far as being executed by the kicker, that was perfect execution from Joao Lopez.
It really was, and Williams came up with the nice recovery there by Lake County. Margaret Watson tuned in tonight. John Keith Butler says, good series. He liked that one by his son's team a moment ago. If anyone would know, he would. Great coach, former great player at Memphis, and then with the Seattle Seahawks, now assistant coach with the Steelers. And here's a running play back to the 45, line of scrimmage, and that's it. Yeah. The Lions showing some grit right now as Garrett Bond led the charge with others. And no gain, 2nd down and 10. We'll stand, get a series of plays here defensively. Hold Lake County at bay. TCA could climb back in a little bit. Lake County would love to run this ball, eat up some clock with a big lead.
Still down 22 points in the game, so you're looking at a 3-score difference here, but still some time if you can get going quickly. But you would have to force 3 and outs by Lake County or get some sort of turnover. And even in this weather, they have not shown the ability to turn the ball over except for that one time.
Teresa confirms that John and Lucy are walking. Here is Snyder rolling to the right, got a big bit of real estate there. 50, 45, 40, first down to the 39-yard line. Boy, Snyder went far side right, and Stan, he showed some good speed for the big 6'3", 225 frame as he moves inside. TCA's 40 to about the 37. He's hard to bring down,
You're going to
too.
see J-Mo Justin Moore come in and took the inside rush, forced Snyder to peel out, and when Snyder peeled out, there was nobody there to fill in, and he was able to get the big yardage and the first down.
Gang tackle by several of the Lions. The guy that got there first was Eli Stewart. Well, 3:22 at second time stand that TCA's had them on the hook a little bit with a big play, and they've come right out of there.
And we let them off.
Here is Snyder. Hands it off to Puckett, coming here the near side, and eludes the would-be tackler. Moves here and moves inside the 35-yard line down to about the 32-yard line. It's going to be you call that, it was a clip, illegal block here.
Illegal block in the back.
Officials have done a good job tonight. They've been in control of the game, and that was a nice call, and it will be the proper call. And they have it at the point there at the 38-yard line. You can see that sort of coming to the would-be blocker just could not get his body turned in time to make the proper block. The governor is calling the press box.
And we'll see the block in the back here coming. It wasn't much, but it was just enough for the hands, and whether it's a big jab block or just the hands, it's a penalty regardless.
Johnson's going in the game, and Puckett will come out.
To answer the fan that said, come on, man, out there.
3:07, yep. And The clock stopped 30-8. Lake County leads the game. We're in the third quarter. Great to have you aboard tonight, whether you be listening or watching all over the world on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios. Handoff Johnson. Johnson trying to get far side right, and they hold on that time and tackle him. Great job there as they tackle him for a loss. And who was that with the back here, Stan? That was that's going to be Chilcutt. Chili got him. Yep, hung on with him. You know, one thing we haven't talked a lot about Desmond Johnson, Stan, is that TCA apparently has had good beats on him several times. He's able to. He's pretty elusive. He's able to. That time he wasn't able to, but he's been good tonight breaking tackles.
You saw on that replay, Chilcutt came across. He was blocked by number 7. He fought off the block by number 7. Still executed his containment coverage and brought him down for the loss.
Lawson doing a good job on those replays. TCA 4 down lineman here on the. That was second down and 19.
Chilcutt did that by the book there. That was textbook play.
At the 50-yard line. They've got to get it to the 31, and now Coach Puckett calls the timeout. He wasn't happy about something and quickly called the timeout right before the snap anyway. 2:14 left here in the third. Lake County leads the game 30-8, and they have the ball at midfield facing a 2nd and 21. We'll come back right after this 30 on the TCA Network.
Lunchtime, you're hungry, we know how you feel. Your mouth wants Little Caesars, and your wallet wants steel. 4 slices of beef deep dish and soda are for you. Hot and ready for $5, and this is what you do. Bite, bite, dip, dip. That's what makes the combo. Bite, bite, dip, dip. Do the deep dish combo mambo. For lunch.
Pizza. Little Caesars lunch combo. Hot and ready 11 to 2 p.m. at participating locations plus tax.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCulley and Stan Gerard.
In the middle of that huddle, Kevin Hansen, the very fine trainer out there, employed the kids to play hard here, and they're doing that. Drew Hayes, Michael Mancini, Nathan Bibb, Jeremy Maddox, Will Brasher, the assistant coaches for the Lions, and Josh Puckett. I'll mention his assistants here in a matter of moments, give them their due as well. Right now it's second down and 24 yards, actually. And they're having the Wildcat, Desmond Johnson, again. He'll run right behind Snyder and breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet, and is able to keep his feet moving down to the 41. Now, Stan, that time's a good indication. TCA had penetration, just couldn't wrap him up, though, but he gets down to the 41. They stop him. It's going to be third down at about 13 now.
What they're doing, we talked about this earlier. It's a true single wing, and they're not pulling linemen, but they're using the blocking back to pull. And when you put Big Snyder back there, I mean, 6'3", 225 pound. He's bigger. He's taller than any of their linemen. So you put him in the blocking scheme with him. It's hard to stop.
Connie Bond says Art Bond. Garrett's Pawpaw is watching tonight and says go Lions. 3rd and 13, almost 14. Johnson breaks a tackle, and Chilcutt got a hand on him, slowed him down enough for other people to get there. 2 or 3 of the players coming up a little lame that time.
And Chile stayed with it. Watch it here on the play. The direct snap. Chilcutt comes across, fought off the block, reached in, almost got the fumble, hung on for dear life, and made the tackle. Nice play by Chilcutt, who at times this year has been maligned for his defensive play, but a few plays like that tonight, he's absolutely done his job.
Favar finished him off, actually. Under a minute left here. 4th and 10. They go for it. Johnson wants to throw. Got to be sacked back here at the 44-yard line. Chilcutt back there. But the guy that got there first and made the play is the guy we called just a moment ago, Samuel Favara.
Favara doing a nice job, and TCA going to take over on downs. So 46 and a half seconds to go, down by 22. A quick score would be nice here, and then you can go, hey, we got a ball game.
Haven't mentioned tonight our great sponsor, along with Worthy Road Studios, Paul and Lawson, the Trinity Christian Academy Booster Club. They've made this telecast possible tonight. We appreciate that. It'll be archived as well. 46.5 seconds left, and the Lions will take over at the 44-yard line. Spurgeon will send one receiver far side left. He has 2 here, and he puts one of those in motion. Davis looks, wants to go downfield to Lane Lamberth. He's down there, and Lane Lamberth will incomplete. Almost came up with it. He thought he was being held, but no cigar.
He's copping a plea. We'll see it. We'll look at it on the replay here and see what happens here. But
Tried to use Lambert's size that time to go over the smaller defensive back to catch it. And here's the floater, and we'll wait and see. And couldn't tell there, really.
You can see a hand come down, but you couldn't see contact.
No, you really couldn't see anything there on the replay. They do a great job, Lawson and Paul do. And it will be Coleman to the left of Spurgeon. Triples far side left, one of those being Davis. Spurgeon rolls that way. Squares, throws, incomplete. Too high over the hands, outstretched arms of Davis and Stan. Lake County had that really well covered.
It might as well have been complete because they had it completely locked down. Except for that one play, they've done a great job on Davis all night. There you can see Sisk wide open, deeper into formation, out at the 45.
3rd down and 10 at the 44-yard line. Joey Spellings tuned back in tonight. AT Motors up there in Dyer. One of our sponsors over at Bethel. Bethel tomorrow, number 5, or Saturday, I should say, number 5 in the country. I'll be leaving tomorrow. They take on number 10, Lindsey Wilson. Catch it at 100.9, airtime at 1 o'clock Saturday. Here's Spurgeon. Drops, screen pass, and deflected. They had that well set up, TCA did as well. Coleman would have been the recipient of the pass, but someone getting in there got a hand up and knocked that away and did a good job, or that would have been a big gainer for TCA, I think. Here it is on the replay. Spurgeon dropping back. They're moving in. I think was it Big Mays that got a hand on that? Couldn't tell.
That's the difference between Lambert and Spurgeon back there. Nothing against Spaz, but a little bit shorter in stature. It makes that screenplay or anything over the middle a little bit harder pass to complete.
Yeah, I think Coleman would have had that too, and might possibly a big gainer. North cut out to punt it, and he'll get it away. And quick punted that thing that time, and not a long punt at all. It goes inside the 30. We'll be down about the 28. They had a good rush on him. That course, forced, I should say, North cut to boot it out of there pretty quickly. 22.1 seconds left. It's 30-8. TCA had great field position, but could not capitalize.
Well, for the folks of you who might be fans of Trenton Peabody listening to this game or watching this game, MAHS in the fourth quarter leads Manassas 24-0. So Maz will be coming to Trenton next Friday for the first round of the playoffs. That score brought to you by Youthtown.
I kid all the folks over at Trenton Peabody about that coaching staff. They've got about 3 or 4 former coaches, head coaches. Got to be the highest payroll in the whole state of Tennessee. 22.1 seconds, 30-8. And they deserve it. They're all good guys and good coaches. Johnson runs out of the Wildcat, and he'll lower his little head this time and move to about the 31 or 2.
You know they've got the highest paid middle school coach around.
Mickey Marley.
Oh, yeah.
And great guy, great coach, and an author now. So at the 31-yard line, it's going to be the end of the third quarter. When we come back, it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Falcons of Lake County. We go to the final 12 minutes. It's 30-8 here in the last regular season game of the year on this Thursday night in Tiptonville. A 1-minute break back after this on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios. Stay with us.
I had my doubts when corporate hired goats to work in my department, but it's been great until I lost my Region's personal check card.
Unauthorized use!
I was like, guys, relax. Regions Lock It lets me lock and unlock my Regions personal cards for online, in-store, or ATM transactions. Regions Lock It is the goat.
Open a Regions checking, credit, or Now Card account with new Lock It. It's secure, easy to use, and customizable. Regions. Member FDIC. Mobile carriers, messaging, and data fees may apply.
Always dependable. Clement Automatic Transmission and Record Service. Owners Jim and Connie Clement have been in business since 1979, building a reputation based on integrity and Christian principles, specializing in foreign and domestic transmission repair. Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, and 24-hour emergency record service, local and long distance, damage-free towing, lockout service, and jump starts. Located 3846 Brownsville Highway in Jackson. Every time, depend on Clement Automatic Transmission and Record Service. 422-6356. Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCulley and Stan Gillard.
One of my favorite people, Gene DeArmond, right behind us here, asking about my lovely wife. We appreciate that, Gene. Hope your family's doing well, sir. And Mo Berg. Every time I see Gene now, I think of Mo Berg, the former baseball catcher. Here is the Wildcat again. That's going to be Desmond Johnson. Great ability to juke and then just change on a dime, moves his way up to the 37. That was a 2nd and 7. And Stanley didn't get the 10 or 7 he needed, but he gets about 6. It's going to be 3rd down and a yard.
And we'll see that on the replay. Once again, nice run. And 3rd and short for Lake County.
He's in my top 5 running backs I've seen this year. What would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, him. Well, the top one's going to be the kid from Trenton Peabody, in my opinion.
Yeah, Dixon, he's really good.
Yeah.
He's got the power and
he's
the
a
speed.
beast.
Yeah, he really is. You like that Union City running back too, didn't you? I missed that game with Bethel.
The fullback, I did like him, but here's the draw play right middle. Good job by the TCA defense.
I think he's got it.
He's going to get the first down.
He was able to lunge his way for it.
Chilcutt may have gotten a tackle on that play.
Didn't get much. He needed a yard, and I think he gets about a yard and a half. We'll wait and see. The officials will look at it. Nope, he didn't get it. They say the knee hits back before the body lunged forward. So it's...
And they're not going to measure this.
No, they're not.
This one's not close enough to measure.
Yep. So it's going to be 4th and a yard, less than a yard actually. Well, Coach Puckett,
maybe.
He's going to be the up here near the Mississippi. He's going to be the Riverboat Gambler in this case, I guess. He says, well, we're leading 30-22 or 30-8, 22-point lead. Let's go for it. They give it to Desmond Johnson. That's why 40, 45, and wrapped up by Pirtle at about the 46, and he gets the yard plus about 6 or 7 more, Stanley.
Yep.
But wait a minute. There's a flag back at the 38.
Oh.
As Bill Haney, it would be appropriate to use his analogy tonight. He's from Tiptonville in Lake County. The late Bill Haney, the pioneer of radio in West Tennessee. He would say, hold the phone, Mabel.
Hold the phone, Mabel?
Yeah, that's what he used to say all the time. Shot it and got it. Remember that in basketball? Tim Haney, his son, may be listening tonight over in Trenton. The pioneer for the rest of us that followed.
Well, it's going to bring up 4th and 10 now.
And they'll punt it now. And Puckett will drop back to punt it. 10:31 left in the regular season. The clock running, a 30-8 game. Lake County jumped out to the 30-0 lead. And Kevin Davis, the very talented and dangerous one back here. And there's the punt. And a sidewinder, to say the least. It takes a great Lake County roll. We'll roll dead at about the 35-yard line, and there TCA will have it 1st and 10. So the 34 is where they'll actually mark it with 10-11 left. The Lions running out of time. Falcons trying to put it away, Stan.
And TCA coming back out on the offense. Spurgeon's still going to be the quarterback. It's going to be Coleman back there in the backfield with him. Davis and Lamberth will be in the left side of the formation. Sisk. I can't see who the other one is out to the right side. I can't see that far.
I think
Gravy.
That's Riley Graves, yep. Lamberth here to the near side. Spurgeon looks this way, wants to throw. And the fly pattern down here to Lamberth, incomplete. Boy, they had that well covered. Johnson's smaller, but much quicker than Lane Lamberth.
Yeah.
He faked the little pass out here to Davis in the flat. Then he tried to go deep and deceive him, and it didn't work.
Yeah, Johnson playing defense. Johnson, I mean, he's so quick. He was almost, it seemed like at half speed and had that covered.
Yep. Leanne Heising watching tonight. Her dad lives right around the street from me there on the workmen's who are leaving the building here. Good to see them. But Leanne's dad lives right around the corner from me over there.
What did we get called?
The steeplechase area. I'm not sure what they're called here. Let's wait and see.
Left hand on top of the head, I have no idea.
Well, the ball at the 35.
He tapped his head like this, and I have no idea what
Second
that call
down
was,
and 10. The Lions apparently going to finish the regular season at 5-5. Lake County would go to 9-1. I'll have to ask someone in the press box, how did this bunch lose to Dresden? I know Dresden was probably healthy then. They were healthy then.
Dresden was healthy there for one reason.
37-yard line, but that was a 60-40 game, though. 100 points scored in the game.
Dresden was a good offense before.
Yeah, they really got banged up, didn't they? Probably no one's incurred the injuries that Dresden's had this year, not making excuses for them. Their coach, a former Bethel player, 35-yard line, 3rd down and 10, no gain that time. And Spurgeon will come out, and he'll have Davis there in the pistol. He's right behind him back there in that formation. Singles each way. And Spurgeon will hand it off to Davis. Davis finds a hole, 40. He's gone.
He's gone.
Midfield, 45-40, 35. You can write it down. That is, ladies and gentlemen, a 65-yard run. He had a 63 and a 65. Good bit of blocking. Let's give the offensive unit for TCA some credit that time, and a 65-yard scamper by one, Kevin Davis.
That score coming with 9:20 to go.
That's a First Bank touchdown gallop.
TCA going to go for 2 here. And we're going to see the replay. Just a straight handoff. Goes to the left side. Great block there.
Yeah, good blocks.
Cuts it straight up. And once he gets by the edge, he's gone.
30-14. And the Lions showing a lot of character here, trying to climb their way back in this thing. Davis in motion, and now offensive line jumps up that time and moves.
You know, when I was an old offensive lineman, if the quarterback said if snap was on 2, I put 2 rocks in my hand. Dropped 1, dropped 2. I went when I didn't have any more rocks in my hand. He didn't have enough rocks.
30-14. I'm going to leave that alone. 9:20 left
The
here.
young man behind me understands the story. He knows what I'm talking about.
I've heard people refer to rocks when they were talking about their brain skills as well. But here is a 2-point conversion. Now Davis,
I looked at the center
Davis in motion, far side right. Spurgeon looks left, wants to throw now over the middle, and he'll throw it back there. And I can't tell. The tent's got us. And it's no good. Thanks, Coach. And try to go to Lambert down there. Leanne says yay on the touchdown run, but it's 30-14. Expect an onside kick when we come back.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. We've got a flag here. Let's wait and see.
Oh.
So TCA is going to have another crack at it, apparently. Pass interference, I guess, down in the end zone. We couldn't tell.
I wish they just run play to the right so we could see it.
9:20 left.
Every play that, no matter what team it's run towards that end of the end zone, has been in that corner.
Boy, Davis is really special to watch. Eddie Jean was talking about the fact that he's got some coaching buddies in the college ranks. He's told them a lot about Davis. Davis probably not big enough to play the NCAA Division I level, Stan, but he certainly could be a star somewhere in college. He goes in motion far side right. I'm not being demeaning saying that. Spurgeon wants to throw, does throw. It's caught. And that 2-point conversion is good. And let's see who caught that when they come out from behind the tent down there. We'll let you know. Is that Lane Lambert? It is.
It certainly is.
It's a 30-16 game. Well, how about that? The Lions not going back to Jackson quietly in this rainy night. We're back after this 30 on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios. Stay with us, everybody.
Since 1996, Sports Orthopedics and Spine in Jackson has been treating sports injuries of all kinds of athletes at every level. Doctors Keith Nord, John Masterson, Nicholas Vance, Scott Johnson, Timothy Sweel, and Michael Pearson, the best team in medicine, provide world-class care focused on you. Get same-day appointments. And this team has many ties to Trinity Christian Academy, with several of their children attending and some having graduated. Find out more at sportsorthospine.us.
WTJK Humboldt Jackson is Fox Sports Jackson.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCully and Stan Gerard.
Coach John Keith Butler up in Pennsylvania with his lovely wife Janet, the mom and dad of Blake Butler, the head coach here at TCA. He says, hey, still have a chance, and they do just that. I really like what TCA's done to fight back in this game, Stan. They could have rolled over and just got back on the bus and gone back to Jackson, so let's get ready for the playoffs, but they've not done that. You wouldn't expect them to do that. Here's Lopez, onside kick, and it's a scribber down there. It's going to be falling on about the 42-yard line. Lake County, good job there again by falling on it. And that coming up with that nice recovery is Matheny.
Didn't quite get the hop that we needed on that particular play. I think in this case, Dave, I would have gone ahead and kicked it deep. And then, you know, if you were able to pin them down deep, trusting your defense to make the stop, then on the exchange of field position, you got better position. What we did here, not getting that onside kick, we just gave up half the field.
Well, we agreed to disagree, but I like the onside kick there. 9:19 is all that remains, and Stan, you're just running out of time. I don't mind that he gambled at all, really, but I understand your point too. Here's Johnson, the Wildcat. Johnson will run it behind Snyder, the quarterback, blocking for him, and he is tackled at midfield from the backside, coming back to get him that time. On a nice play was Mitch Sisk, and also back there was Eli Cross. He gets the first down to the 49. Well, that makes your analogy look better than mine, doesn't it? 9:08, that first down run.
I'm just an old ball player who knows a thing or two over the years.
9:03. Ball at the 49-yard line.
In other words, every once in a while, a blind nut finds a squirrel.
Lake County will obviously just play this play clock as long as they can. Coach Puckett, good job there with his coaching ability there with his staff, and just like TCA, well-coached teams. And saying, drain this clock, boys. Johnson has the handoff, following a couple of blocks to the 45, breaks open, he may go. Cross has a chance to catch him. Let's see if he can. He does, but not before he gets down inside the 15-yard line.
And really, he's got to be approaching 300 yards at this point.
Jonathan Canada, Hunter Short, Damian Yancey, Austin Hopper, Bill Windsor, and Richard Ritz, I should say, the coaches, assistant coaches with Coach Puckett. Well, Stan, that was a big run by Johnson and sort of puts TCA in a really big hole now, doesn't it?
Definitely approaching 300 yards on the night is Johnson.
And, yep, he's had a big night. They had 199 yards at one juncture of the game. He had 158 of them. 8 minutes clock running. Lake County draining the clock again for all it's worth. Little Desmond Johnson, he's been special tonight. Has it in the Wildcat. He may go in. He is. He's going to score. Touchdown. From 12 yards out. TCA answers, but Johnson says, not tonight at our house.
Yep.
With 7:54 left, he runs in from 12 yards out, and Stan, I have him now with what? 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns. Is that right?
I concur.
And it's now 36-16, and they'll go for the 2-point conversion again.
They just threw a T out there, but why?
And Snyder in the shotgun has his line over there. Now they'll put a man in motion here to come near side. They'll give it to him. That's Puckett. The others walking in untouched. 38-16. The gimmick plays, TCA's not been able to read them all night. 7:54 left. The Lions in trouble, and the Falcons look like they're about to go to 9-1. We'll be back after this on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios at 30.
First Bank is a proud sponsor of Trinity Christian Academy Athletics. This is Dawn Thomason with First Bank and a parent of a TCA student athlete. First Bank has 3 locations in Jackson with products ranging from checking, home mortgage, and commercial business accounts. First Bank supports TCA students, coaches, and athletes as they compete in the 2018-2019 season. We look forward to a great season and cheering on the TCA Lions. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Diamond Dave McCulley and Stan Gillard.
Well, Diamond Dave, if TCA had hopes of getting back into the ball game, they cut to a 2-score game. That may have been the death nail right there.
Coach Puckett in his 6th year, he came in tonight 42-26. 8th year, Blake Butler at 52-38. 2 good young head coaches. Here is Davis, feels that thing like a center fielder over his shoulder. 10, 15, 20, 25 on his feet up near the 30-yard line and will be dropped there at about the 29-yard line. Nice play by Davis, catching that over his shoulder. Then came back to the 29, tried to get the head of steam, and they just wouldn't allow it.
So TCA is going to have decent field position ball at the just shy of the 30-yard line. TCA will start 1st and 10 with 7:47 remaining in the regular season. Our next football broadcast will be next Friday night in Memphis, Tennessee. Don't know where yet.
Lake County will be moving to the playoffs for the 35th time in program history. Davis breaks a couple of tackles in the backfield on the sweep, and now they've got him back at the 22. Nowhere to go. They really swarmed tackling him that time. 2 great traditions with TCA. TCA not around as long as Lake County, but Stan, you look at Lake County's history, 35th time they'll be in the playoffs next week. Pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive, and it's a program. It's a program that has won state titles in the past. They've won them in football. They've won them in basketball.
Yep.
It's they had a dry spell with this football program for a while, but it's been on the upswing the last several years, and had the nice run to the Final Four last year, dropping the game to Cornersville 7-0. But this Lake County bunch primed for a big run.
Spurgeon throws, and Davis can't hold on. It almost intercepted at the 30. Ball went right through the hands of Davis, he'll be the first to tell you that he should have caught it.
And quite honestly, he catches that ball, it's 6. We'll see it on the replay. The snap throw, had it up there, caught it in the gap in between coverage. He would have easily scored on that play had he been able to haul it in.
Yeah, he really would have been. They found him, called the right play at the right time that time, and
he won't be open that
Nope.
big the rest of the night.
6:54, clock stop, 38-16. Lake County leads the game. Spurgeon on the 3rd and 17. Davis in motion, far side right. Spurgeon looks back here to the near side, though. He's running for his life. Now circles and will throw, and incomplete. Mitch Sis, the intended receiver. Davis was in the neighborhood, but Mitch couldn't come up with it. And the Lions down 38-16. And it's 4th and 17 back at their own 21-yard line. They'll put it down there, and apparently on the 4th and 17, TCA is going to go for it. And not send Northcutt out to punt it. Temperature in the low 50s now as we make our way throughout the night. Kelly Shanks is watching tonight. Big hello to our good buddy and lovely buddy. Does a great job at TCA. And it will be Spurgeon in the gun with doubles here to the short side of the field. Right hash mark. He'll be back there and try to deliver on a big play. Davis in motion, far side right. Spurgeon dropped. Spurgeon looks over the middle, wants to throw, does throw, and overshoots his intended receiver. Sisk and Lamberth both there, well covered by Lake County. Spurgeon, right idea, but just couldn't get it down there to Lamberth, and it's incomplete. And Lake County will take over at the TCA 21-yard line.
.640 to go in this ball game.
Lake County will be at home next week. Gene, good to see you, buddy. Give your lovely wife my best. Great to see Gene DeArmond. We talked about him several times, and TCA will be on the road in Memphis, and I'll be going to Shelby County again. Back to my old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
We'll have to stop over in Mason.
Could be any one of 3 teams.
Have to stop in Galloway. What was the name of the restaurant we stopped at? You saw my picture on the wall.
We're not going that way.
We're not going that way. Here's the handoff. Puckett will run it inside the 20 down to about the 17. And he'll be stopped there. 38-16 your score. My picture was on the wall there. You remember that?
I remember
my
that.
basketball uniform wore number 3. I was the forerunner of Rex Chapman before he wore number 3. The ball inside the 20. It's going to be 2nd and 6. 6:10 and the clock running here at Lake County. We'll head back to Jackson. About an hour and a half back to.
It may not take quite that long.
Let's hope not. But remember, the guys are bad between here and Dyersburg.
Once we
Here's
get to
Johnson.
the 4 lane.
He'll play fake it. Going to roll left. Going to dart back into the left hash. Got the first down inside TCA's 5. Or dropped right near the 5 anyway. Stan, once he turns it and gets those shoulders turned, he can really fly like Davis, can he?
He's special. Like I said, he's folks, I'll be honest, I've kind of
penalty marker.
I've kind of quit statting the game, but
penalty marker holding on Lake County.
He's got to be close to 300 yards.
Snyder's got his arms outspread like, they can't call that on me, Coach. 25-yard line. And the crowd, despite the fact leading 38-16, they're not real happy right now.
Well,
but they'll be happy in retrospect. Going to go to 9-1. Very impressive performance by Lake County tonight.
A very impressive performance, just the way you want to be heading into the playoffs.
I like their offensive line a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
5:35. You get a little guy back there with Davis or Johnson, and as we said several times, he can. And now here's Puckett, just bowls over a couple people down inside the 20, and tackle, saving the touchdown is Eli Cross.
Cross, a nice stick there, just held his ground.
He's played pretty well tonight. Would you agree?
He's been on a number of tackles here.
38-16. There will be no stopping at fast food restaurants with these announcers tonight. Yeah, we'll be scooting right back to Jackson.
Between what we had on the way up and the food we got here.
I have 2 soccer stories to write later tonight as well. It never stops. Here is Johnson in the gun on the 3rd down now at about 4. Here is handoff Puckett. Puckett jukes right, goes left. He's got to score. From 16 yards out. Lions really never got a hand on him. And after moving to a 30-16 deficit, now it's 44-16 with 2 quick scores by Lake County, 4:37.
We had this cut to a 2-score game.
Yeah, and had a chance.
You make a stop and potentially get the score. You know, it's a ball game. But since that point, it's been all Lake County.
Now they're going to kick it. And apparently, Desmond Johnson, this guy does everything up here. Chip Thomas tuned in again. And Desmond Johnson's going to try the foot now. He says, why not? Kicks it. Not real pretty, but it goes through. A line drive that barely edged across the crossbar. And just like that, it's 45-16, Lake County.
Anytime you score, it's pretty.
No doubt about it. Back after this 30. Stay with us.
This is Chuck Fugel with Robinson Toyota. I'm a Trinity parent and a sales consultant here at Robinson Toyota. Do you want a different kind of car buying experience? If you do, come see me at Robinson Toyota. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, do it enthusiastically, as something done for the Lord and not men. I strive to do that every day. Just ask all the Trinity families that have bought cars from me in the past 2 years. Come see me, Chuck Fugel at Robinson Toyota, for a different kind of car buying experience.
Now let's go back to the stadium for more Trinity Christian Academy football with Simon Dave McCulley and Stan Gerard.
Renee Sisk is tuned in, still having hope. Our lovely buddy. And Larry Tubbs is number 11, not Puckett. I apologize to Jason Tolley in the game. So Mr. Tubbs is a guy that's done a lot of damage tonight with the Puckett boys as well. 45-16, 4:37. Trying to watch our monitor here. It's glare through the windows is a little tough. Here's the kick, and Davis will field it about the 18. He's to the 20 and up into there. A couple of Falcons got there in time to knock him down at about the 26-yard line. So we apologize to Larry Tubbs. And TCA's regular season going to come to a close at 5-5. Lake County will move to 9-1 on the year. Tubbs, Puckett, Johnson, you name them, they're all pretty good.
Yep.
Larry Tubbs is, and remember we have no lights in here as well. 5'10", 175, a junior. Coach Butler talked about the fact that a lot of these kids come back for Lake County next year.
And really the balance of this team offensively comes back for them.
Spurgeon rolls right, throws right, and dropped by Riley Graves at about the 35-yard line. He was open, just dropped it, couldn't come up with it. Riley, a good sure-handed receiver, but couldn't hold on in the wet conditions here. I think the rain is still, the drizzle is still coming down, but not anywhere near as what it was. Yeah. Umbrella's still up, though.
It's still coming down at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, when I see the monitor now, you can tell even more so than looking out this window here. Glare sort of gets you a little bit through the window and the lights across the way. So it's second down and 10 at the 30, or at the 26. Pass out to Davis, jukes his way for a few yards, but can't break the tackles that time to get open. Trying to isolate him. I like that play, but Stan just couldn't get him open enough. Bill Hamilton, Big Blue, is watching tonight.
Again, you have to credit the defensive scheme of Lake County. They've studied the playbook well, and with the exception of a couple plays, they've had us schemed all night long.
Make sure we work Jason and Crystal Tolley, both of their names in. Here's the pass out to Sisk, and looked like that might have been a little bit too soon there for the defender, but they don't call the flag. At this point, it's probably academic. 3:46, 45-16 your score. Let's see the replay here. It will tell the tale. And here's the pass out here, and I don't know.
We'll give the benefit of the doubt.
Yep, it's pretty close. Yep, but the officials are a lot closer than we are. Fourth and about now 6. 3:46 left here, and Spurgeon now is, TCA, remember, turned it over a moment ago on downs. Spurgeon sacked back inside the 25 at the 24. Well, Lake County knew the pass was coming, and they just, as the old football terminology said, brought the house. Nice play there defensively by the Falcons. And the guy that made the play, outstanding defensive play that time by number 44, that being John Wilson. So,
very frustrating.
I do apologize to Larry Tubbs. We've called him Puckett, I think, all night tonight. And I appreciate Jason and Crystal Tolley letting me know.
Tubbs is 11.
Yeah, he's 11. That's right. Handoff, and there he goes again. He stretches his way to the 20. That's Tubbs again. And number 11 tackles number 11, Sisk. Mitch, was that a good year? Jason tells me that the biggest part of this team has a team Bible study every week, and they're very close with each other. So we appreciate that side note, and that's nice to know. We appreciate the good Christian young men that both of these teams put on the field. 3:10 left, 45-16. Lake County is going to go in the playoffs on a high, and TCA, well, they'll have to regather. Some bright spots tonight with Davis running the ball on the 65 and 63-yard runs, but got to find some consistency next week in the playoffs. Here's Tubbs again. He may go in again. Nope, he's at the 10, and a nice play by
tackle.
Riley Graves. That's a good tackle, wasn't it, Stan? Yep.
Came right at him. He just lowered his shoulder and took him down.
You like to see that, too. You're late in the game, and you expect that out of Riley Graves. He stuck his head right in there and made the tackle. Knew that he was probably going to get punished a little bit. It is a first down. And the ball will be, let's see, he's right at the 10-yard line. These guys are talking wrestling up here. They don't need to do that with you in the house because you're a big wrestling fan, aren't you, Stan?
Where's that conversation going on?
Yeah, they're talking about Ric Flair down there.
He's still won 11 more world titles than Tom Brady.
Bill Hamlin tuned in with us. Mr. Brady's gone to the bank a lot, though. Tom Brady is 40 years old and still got the Patriots right where they'll probably need to be. Here's the handoff. Is that Tubbs again? He's down inside the 5 and will be dropped there. TCA trying to stop him before he got there.
Tom Brady's now a limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a gun.
Well, he's got a good looking wife and a big bank account. That I don't think it really matters to Tom Brady.
Yeah, but
how old is Ric Flair now? Is he still wrestling?
No, he's had some health issues now,
right.
and he's.
Well, I knew if anyone would know, you would know.
Pushing his 34. He's pushing his late 60s, but he had some health scares. They were wondering if he was even going to survive, but he's had some bad health issues, and he still does some.
A minute 24 left here.
Card signs and stuff.
Lake County. Snyder back in there at quarterback. Hands off Tubbs. Tubbs powering his way down inside the 5. And with 1:11 left here, 45-16 your score. So the Lions will, as we said, have to regather some momentum and have a good week of practice, get ready to go to Memphis next week. And Stan, you keep up with it really well. Possibilities of who will play next week.
It's going to depend on what happens tomorrow night.
Yep.
It could be Fairley. It could be Douglas, or it could be Mitchell.
Was it Fairley I went to, and I asked them what the burn spot at midfield was, and they said that was the opposing quarterback's car.
They stole the opponent's car.
They used it on home.
The
Yeah, they used
line.
it. Yeah, sure did. I remember that. But they treated us great. Here's a little bit of mix-up on the handoff, and the Lions are there to stop him. And let's see if Coach Puckett just calls him off here with 20 seconds. Yep, he's not. I don't think he's going to try to score now. With that, we'll let the clock run out, and Lake County will win it. Congratulations to Lake County. They finished a remarkable season at 9-1. And the Lions, good luck as we go to Memphis next week, finish at 5-5. Let's take a 2-minute break. The final score here, 45-16. Lake County wins it. Back after this 2-minute message with a short post game on Fox Sports Jackson 105.3 and Worthy Road Studios. Thanks to Paul and Lawson. A great job as always. Back after this. Stay with us, everybody.
Here's TCA Booster Club President Craig Fuller.
The TCA Booster Club's mission is to promote and support all of the athletic programs by uniting parents, students, coaches, faculty, and staff, working together as one community to train young champions for Christ. This year's officers also include Greg Maxfield, Jennifer Cunningham, Scott and Katie Eaglin, and Jenny Gray. Thank you to these officers, our members, and our corporate sponsors for graciously supporting the athletic programs at Trinity Christian Academy. Go Lions!
It's